are listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio, hosted by Steve Jenny and his satanic assistant, Alex Montini, both of whom can't go into churches without vomiting.
Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be around this wild, wacky, and sometimes disturbing world of ours. Yes, that's the intro to the Mindset Podcast, a weekly attempt to open eyes and shedding light on what's really going on in the world, all done by ripping apart the media madness that masquerades as news. Join me, Gareth Davies, every Sunday on the Mindset Podcast. You can find the show on all major podcasting services such as iTunes, Stitcher, and so on. Or you can go directly to the main Mindset website. That's www.mindsetcentral.com. Check out the Mindset Podcast. Bring your curiosity, your opinions, and a sense of humor. And remember that some worldviews are stranger than others.
And welcome to Nocturnal Frequency Radio here live on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course simulcasting on our YouTube channel. And it's kind of weird because I kind of feel that we already did the show this week.
We did,
even though we did it. We did a bonus show there on Thursday night with the guys from Third Moon Brewing.
Yeah. That was a good show.
And everyone's like, "But this is a paranormal."
Yeah.
If anybody knows anything about the show, it's mostly paranormal.
It is mostly, but we sometimes deviate.
We do, and
it's occasionally paraplegic.
Yeah.
And we Bevo was kind of disappointed we didn't get into any cryptoid talk.
That's okay. We'll have him back on.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely do a full show of cryptoid talk because I know he's really fascinated with the Mothman sightings there and the Chicago O'Hare area. So, anyways, tonight with us, we got our good friend Gareth Davies of the Mindset Podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Anytime, guys. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys. Looking forward to having a good discussion this evening.
So how are the fires there in California?
Wonderful.
There are no fires.
There are no fires as yet. But I did buy some matches this afternoon, so keep watching the news.
No, you heard it here, folks.
You heard it first here. Yeah.
Usually the fires really don't kick in until like August, September, October. Around that time is when the state starts burning to the ground. This time of year we're usually okay.
How's the weather been? Like, is it pretty relatively normal? Like,
yeah, it's real nice. Yeah. Real nice. About 70 degrees today, which is perfect.
We were lucky to hit 50 today.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It got like what? It's 14 degrees here.
Wow.
Which is, I don't know, in Fahrenheit, I don't know, 53.
Hang on.
Yeah,
something like that.
I'll tell you in a sec.
14 degrees in Fahrenheit is I'm leaving.
Yeah, well, more or less.
I'll tell you in a sec. 14 degrees is about 57.2.
Yeah, that's a little chilly.
Sounds like a radio station.
Yeah.
Is that the radio station we're on right now? Actually, that we're playing Ion 54.2.
Let's go with Alex for the weather. Alex, how's it looking over there?
Crappy.
I don't get him.
It's crappy
because it's awfully foggy over there.
It is foggy.
Hopefully so.
I got Gareth, just for you, I got the disco ball on order.
Awesome.
What are you talking about? You already have a disco ball right there. It's called your head.
Whoa.
Well, it doesn't emit light. It just reflects it. I want one that I want one of those ones that actually emits the light.
No, that's what a disco ball's supposed to do.
No, I know, but I want the ones that has the multicolored lights.
So you need what you need to do. You need to do the Exorcist thing there and let your head turn 360 there.
Yeah, we could do it this way.
The Exorcist.
Look at that.
Yeah, just have it sort of,
So
Gareth, I don't know. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, it kind of reminds me of like 2001, Stanley Kubrick's 2001 here.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. What you should do is, because I've noticed all like the professional streamers is when they get a donation or something, they say, okay, thank you for the donation. Let's turn the lights on, and they flip and the lights flash. Yeah. So people will donate and you flash the lights.
We haven't had donations yet, so
yeah,
we're waiting for donations.
Well, hang in there, man.
And the people listening to the show traditionally on the New Visions Radio Network are going, what the fuck are these guys talking about?
Well, this is why they have to pop on over to YouTube every once in a while and check it out.
Exactly.
A mass exodus.
A mass exodus to YouTube.
Hey, you know what they call that here, right?
What?
Blue moon. You know what they call that here?
Don't say it, dude.
I'm gonna have to.
What
they actually call it something else here, which is stupid.
Oh, you mean the beer itself is
the beer itself is called
something else?
It's called Belgian Moon here.
Oh, no way.
It's called Belgian.
It says it's a Belgian white.
Yes.
Well, it's probably the exact same beer.
It's the same beer. Only
is the logo very similar? Also,
it's the same thing. Only it says Belgian Moon in the strip there, the white strip.
No way. I wonder why they did that.
Well, it's like anything else. They have to grandfather you and say, look, this is the same beer, but we have to call it something. Maybe there's some. I don't know.
It's because of all the extreme cold weather. There's plenty of blue moons out here.
Oh, yeah.
So they want to confuse it with that.
They should have called it blue balls.
Blue balls. Yeah.
But yeah, I've been becoming strangely addicted to blue moon, especially because when the weather is nice and it's warm, an ice cold blue moon really, really hits the spot. It's like it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's not. Have you tried the mango one? I don't know if you guys got the mango one down there.
No, I haven't seen the mango one.
I don't know.
We just get the regular one.
Well, they got a mango one up here, and holy shit, it's actually not bad.
We do have a Blue Moon light, like a light beer version.
Yeah, Light Sky
of Blue Moon. Is that what it's called over there?
It's called Light Sky here. I don't know.
Yeah, but I haven't tried it, dude. I'm not a fan of light beers. What's the point? If you're gonna, if you want to lose weight and you don't want to drink beer, then just don't drink beer. What's it? Don't do the light beer.
I could never understand that. I mean, when you're a teenager and in your 20s and whatever, I drank a 24 last night. Coors Light.
Yeah.
Like.
Exactly.
And how many times did you go to take a piss? Once the seal's cracked, it's all over.
Exactly. You tell me about it, dude. You live in the fucking bathroom. Let's be honest.
And welcome to the weekly piss talk with Gareth.
Hi. We're gonna talk about piss and beer. How you doing?
Oh wait, we shouldn't say piss. We should say urinate. I'm sorry.
Urination.
Urination.
What'd you call me? You're a what?
Urination.
I'm a nation? Sure.
Urination.
Urination. Hey, who's on first?
So Gareth, what's new with Mindset? What have you been up to? What's been going on?
Well, I'm still doing the Mindset podcast every Sunday. Every Sunday morning, I get up super early and I record a 2.5-hour podcast every Sunday. and it's still as much fun as it was when I first started it. So I'm going to keep doing it. I love doing it. I'm also heavily getting into YouTube streaming. Excuse me. Every Friday night, the Mindset Live Friday Night Howl is going from strength to strength. Numbers are building. We get a lot of people tuning in, and it's a free for all. Alex has been on once or twice, and Steve, you're invited anytime if you're up and about on a Friday night.
Well, I think I was on a Friday night. I was on one.
Was you on it?
Yeah. A while ago. I was on
but
one,
you're both open invitation if you want to come by and have a beer or two and shoot the shit with the rest of us on a Friday night. More than welcome. I'm also planning a pretty huge commitment and show, which will hopefully be starting beginning of June. Fingers crossed. This is going to be a daily live stream. You're here first, folks.
Daily.
I'm doing a morning show. It's going to be called Mindset Mornings, and I'll be broadcasting for an hour and a half to 2 hours every morning before I go to work. So when I say every morning, I mean Monday through Friday. I will not be doing it on Saturday or Sundays. But that's coming up. Putting together the titles, I'm putting together the music. It's all coming together. So stay tuned for a big announcement. I'm hoping the beginning of June, the launch of Mindset Mornings.
So pretty much the same stuff, but mornings.
Well, no, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's not going to be exactly the same. It's just going to be me. It's not like I'm going to have people on. It's just going to be me talking and going over stuff with a mug of coffee. But I'm excited. I think it'll be a great show. I'm looking forward to doing it. And I'm just going to see how long it lasts, whether I get tired of it, whether I get sick of getting up early, or whether nobody watches. If any of those three things come into play, I will pull the plug. But if none of those things happen, it could go on for the foreseeable future.
Now, this is on YouTube, I take it, right?
Yes, this is on YouTube.
You need to invite the Droogs over, huh?
The Droogs, yes.
The Droogs.
The Droogs, yes.
For a little bit of the malarkey.
Malarkey.
Gareth, I don't think he's ever seen Clockwork Orange.
No.
Who, me?
No.
Not me.
Alex.
You've never seen Clockwork
That guy
Orange?
down there.
No. That guy down there, yeah.
Oh, wait. No,
that's Gareth. I'm beside you.
He's up there. Is he over there? Or, no, he's
wait. We have an issue here. Alex, you have never seen a Clockwork Orange.
No.
Oh,
I told you. I'm not a big movie guy.
Though, you know what's amazing? Because
I've watched Spaceballs.
Many times when I've been on the show, Steve will bring up a movie, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, that's a great movie," and he'll turn to Alex and say, "Alex, have you seen that movie?" He's like, "Nope, haven't seen it." And but here's the best part. The best part is he'll say, "Nope, I haven't seen it," and the way he says, "Nope, I haven't seen it," severely implies that he's never going to watch it.
That's right.
Ever.
Well, no,
You hit the nail on the head, Gareth.
For the most part, yeah, but he's actually you watch Suspiria.
I have I've watched it. Yes.
Did you pressure him into watching it?
He pretty much did.
I didn't pressure him. I said, "Have you ever seen Suspiria?" He's like, "No."
He subliminally pressured me.
No.
No, it just happened to be like honestly, it happened. Yeah, holy shit, I gotta watch it now. No, I watched it because it was actually on TV, regular TV.
Now you have to watch this. You have to watch these guys in action.
Who's that? Three Stooges or Four Stooges?
The Droogs.
No, the Droogs. You gotta watch.
When you watch that movie, Alex, you'll discover what singing in the rain means.
Yeah.
Singing in the golden shower.
How long was it a video nasty in the UK?
Dude, for years. I remember when I was in school, a buddy of mine was like, "I got Clockwork Orange on VHS," and I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." He says, "Come over to my house after school. We'll watch it." And I went over to his house and we watched it on TV, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But it was one of those movies that it was so like on the down low and you couldn't get it anywhere. The fact that it was, you could see it. It was like, fuck. It was the same with The Exorcist. The Exorcist was banned when I was in my teenage years. You couldn't see The Exorcist anywhere. It was banned. You couldn't get it. And a buddy of mine said, I've got the tape. I've got The Exorcist. And he lent it to me, and I immediately made a copy of it. So then I had this holy grail of videotapes. I had The Exorcist on VHS because you literally could not get it anywhere. It was banned. I mean it was an insane time. It was and you know some of the laws in the UK are really draconian and fucking mental. You know they're out of their minds with this. The right honourable sir, the minister says we should ban this. Yeah. It's like they're out. You know they're mental cases over there. It's unbelievable.
Well, you got like a mini version over here. I mean, it's not much better over here. I mean,
you got those kind of lunatic politicians too, banning everything.
Well, yeah,
telling you what you can and can't do, and
dude, we're in lockdown mode still.
Oh my god, unbelievable.
We're still in lockdown here. I don't agree with lockdowns. I just don't.
Dude, they just said June 18th in California.
What?
No masks.
Well, you're following Florida. Florida has already done that, right? Florida's already done.
And I'm a little bummed because I just bought a brand new Darth Vader one, and I was really looking forward to wearing it.
You can still wear it.
Well, you can still wear it. Fashion statement.
No, it's the full helmet.
Oh, the full helmet.
The full thing.
Hey, I bought the Darth Vader dildo.
Okay.
Of course, Alex. Of course.
Kind of looks like your microphone there, Gareth.
Oh, hey. Oh. Well, you got to say things like that.
Hey, I gotta put in my 2 cents, right?
So yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird to me how like certain parts of the country and or the world have like different we're still on lockdown, we can't do this, you can do that, we can do it's like it's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that they don't want and I don't want to drone too much on this, but I can understand we don't want to inundate the hospitals and the emergency rooms and all that. Because
hospitals are empty. Please, come on. This
not
is
here.
nonsense.
They're not here.
This is nonsense.
Not here.
They are. I guarantee they are.
No, so they're not in the emergency rooms. They have a special wing where they put all the COVID patients. So if you go to the ER, you're not going to see anybody in there except for people who actually like broken arm or whatever. But they have them separate.
You go in, there's like 3 people in there. That's it. Come on.
It's funny. I don't know. I sent that video over. Did you see that video of Alex Jones talking about Doug Ford?
No, I have not seen it.
Did you watch that video?
No,
I didn't watch the video either, but I saw it on the poster. I'm gonna watch it later.
You gotta watch it. It's hilarious. He looks like a badger, a real mean badger, one of those sly badgers. It's hilarious, man.
I'm at the point in my life where I'm tired of pretending that I don't like Alex Jones. I'm tired of it.
So in other words, you don't like him
now. In the beginning, I think he kind of meant something, but now he's a laugh. He really is.
He is. I agree. He is. He's like a caricature of himself.
Oh, now
he's way over the top and very loud, and he's very polarizing. People either love him or hate him. There doesn't seem to be a middle ground with Alex Jones. You're either a fan or you think he's a mental case. There's no like, well, he's okay. Like, he's fine.
But that's what got him to where he is. That's why he keeps doing it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
because at the end of the day, I mean, he's gonna do whatever works, and if it gets him the viewership and subscribers, then why wouldn't he? It's when that starts to dip off.
He's got $100 million business, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, he got there by doing what he's been doing up until now. Right.
When he was on YouTube, he was making $280,000 a month.
Yeah,
on YouTube, just YouTube.
I know.
Yep.
Not with all the sponsorships and the this and the that. Just YouTube.
Yeah, just the AdSense. Yeah, just the AdSense.
It was the amount of followers the guy had. I mean, the guy, look at. I still remember when he exposed Bohemian Grove.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. I'll admit that was interesting.
It's fascinating.
is it completely believable? I don't know.
Absolutely, 100%.
But it was fascinating.
100%.
And Alex is like, what the fuck is Bohemian Grove?
For many, many years, there's been whispers and talk about what went on at Bohemian Grove, right? It's a very exclusive.
Yeah.
And nobody knew.
No.
And then I think it was 95 or 96, Alex Jones and British journalist John Ronson, they went there, they scoped it out, and they decided to, not break in is not the right word, to kind of infiltrate Bohemian Grove. And they had hidden cameras on them, and they went through and they went in and they blagged their way through and they got in, and they filmed a ritual called the cremation of care, where they have the big stone owl for the god Moloch. They have an altar. They have all these guys in robes and flaming torches, and it sounds like absolute fucking lunacy. But it doesn't change the fact that it happened, and there's footage of this, and it exists.
Oh yeah. It was
all these people in there were like billionaires, heads of major corporations, all engaged in the cremation of care ritual.
Do you know much about Bohemian Grove, Alex?
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's where all the elite go to plan world domination.
That's where the Freemasons go.
I don't know if they're planning world domination. But
the Illuminati.
Look at it this way, right? People think, well, there's no way the Illuminati can exist. That's nonsense, right? Of course, it's bullshit.
They're the Freemasons, right? Aren't they the same thing?
No,
it's very different.
Not really.
But look at it this way. If you look at corporations, right?
Yeah.
There's a thing called networking,
Mm-hmm.
and we've all engaged in it in our lives, right?
Yep.
Where you go somewhere to meet someone, to network, to I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine. We'll work out this, we'll work out that.
We'll cover you.
So considering networking is a real thing, that kind of proves in itself that something like the Illuminati would exist, right? Because the power structure, they interconnect, and they work together.
I have no doubt that some kind of organization exists. It may even be called Illuminati. What I have an issue with,
I don't think it's called.
I'm just.
I think that's our name.
It's called the New World Order.
Right.
That's just our name for it.
Right.
I don't think
the Illuminati did exist at one point.
Yeah, the Bavarian.
Yeah, Bavarian Illuminati.
1700s. Yeah.
But the point is that I think a lot of the theorists, conspiracy theorists, give them too much credit. And what I mean by that simply is that everything that there's going to be a new world order, as Steve mentioned, or there's going to be this, it's all attributed to the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think I have a hard time believing. Is there?
I thought it was the Golden Dawn, not the Illuminati.
Golden Dawn. It's Golden Shower Dawn.
Oh, well, I mean, all these subjects are very easy to poke fun at and to laugh at because we don't have all the information, and when we don't have all the information, we make poor decisions, and things which could be true sound silly, right? So it's easy to do it, but it still doesn't change the fact that if you do really dig into it and look at it critically, there's a high probability that the Illuminati does exist. They're not called the Illuminati. That's our word for them. But there is some kind of hierarchical power structure that exists on Earth and does call the shots.
Yeah, because they're the ones who continue to reap the rewards of that power structure.
Sure, of course, absolutely.
It's the corporate heads and it's all of that stuff.
How could they plan the future and do all this stuff? And it doesn't make sense. How could they do it? In your own life, have you ever set a goal? Have you ever set a goal for yourself and worked towards that goal and see its fruition?
No, I can't say that I have.
Well, but you know what I mean?
He's got fucking disco lights going on.
Most people set goals, and they achieve those goals. So if an individual can do that, why can't a multi-trillion-dollar corporation do that with enormous resources?
Well, you look at all these events that are happening. I mean, look at the pipeline now. That pipeline that's been hacked.
The Keystone Pipeline.
it kind of makes you wonder. You know, that takes a lot of fucking, you know, inside technology to be able to do that.
Well, it's
hack a major system like that and shut it down. I mean, there was some other stuff that was shut down as well. What was it, hospitals or something?
Well, you got to think about why something like that would be done intentionally, right? And think about, you got to follow the money, find out why. So think of all the possibilities as to why someone might do that.
Why? Because of climate change? Fucking, they hate oil.
So
fuck you. You're not going to make any more money.
Well, no, there's I don't know, dude, but there's a million possibilities, and one of them is the truth.
So we should all buy fucking Teslas now?
Well, see, Tesla's a myth also. All right, you think, well, there's no emissions from Tesla cars. Yeah, I know, but what about all the facilities in place to build those cars? What about those emissions?
You know what? They're a good. You look at the goddamn fucking batteries those things have.
Yeah.
Look at lithium. It's a fucking major pollutant.
Mm-hmm. It's a myth, and we're all people are buying into this.
Oh yeah, it's a new business scheme, and it's working. Sure.
It's all
it goes hand in hand with fucking climate change.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Yeah. But when you bring these subjects up or you question them, the current mainstream narrative is that you're crazy, right?
That's fine. I'm crazy. I don't care.
Or you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm used to being crazy.
Well, I mean, considering some of the subjects that I think about and talk about, I'm very familiar to going down these paths and having people looking at me like I'm out of my mind. But I'm fine with that. Because when somebody disagrees with me, all I can think of is, well, one of us is wrong.
Yeah, it's called The Mindset, right?
The Mindset Podcast.
It's called The Mindset. No,
check it out, yo.
It's just it's ridiculous. It really is to think that we're gonna. I mean, right now Tesla. We'll talk about Tesla and Tesla cars. I mean, it's a great passenger vehicle.
Yeah.
Right now, but I mean, until there's like charging stations all over the place, is it really worth the dollars to pay for that shit?
I don't know, dude. I mean, they are cool cars. I do like
them. They're cool cars,
they're cool.
And they're fast.
I wouldn't say no if someone wanted to hand me one, But
I'll give you one.
I can't believe how fast those fucking things are.
Yeah. Crazy fast. Crazy.
It amazes me. That still amazes me how fast those things are.
But they're fast taking off. They can't sustain. They can't.
No, they can't. No, they can't. But that's the thing. They can't.
To take off like 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds or something.
It's insane.
They can totally do that.
It's insane.
They can smoke a gas car easy, but they can't. They can't sustain the speed.
Most gas cars. I mean, a Demon held up well and actually beat it a few times.
Hey, don't bring up demons on this show.
I'm sorry.
No, this is our show. We can bring up demons. Gord's not here. Gord's not here, so we can bring it up.
The demons. Yes.
The demons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't even want to go into that area. Just it's amazing how people have had the wool pulled over their eyes, and continue with that. But I mean, that's one of many things that most people will sit there and go, "No, really." You're crazy if you think
right.
Traditionally.
And they don't want to know. There's a lot of stuff that if you bring things to people's attention, they're immediately like, la, 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 I am not listening to you, la, 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 la. They don't want to know.
Well, it's like,
it's like, no, you're crazy. I'm saying you're crazy. I don't want to listen. Leave me alone.
It's like traditional beer is brewed with corn.
Is it really?
Yeah. Most people don't fucking know that.
I didn't know that.
You drink a Budweiser, you drink a fucking.
Wait, hang on. Wait, beer is brewed?
But it's facts like that. But people go, "What? Really?" You're kidding?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know.
It's like Alex with movies.
God.
He doesn't want to see the movie, and he hasn't seen the movie, and he doesn't want to see the movie.
You know what? Yeah. Right now, Alex, what's new?
Nothing.
Okay, so
now we got that out of the way.
We got that out of the way. That said, Alex, sit down and watch A Clockwork Orange. Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. I want to know. I want to hear your thoughts about it.
Why?
I really do.
Where is that streaming? Where is it streaming?
I don't even know if it's streaming or not.
I have it on Blu-ray, so I don't know if it's streaming.
I don't know if it's on any platform or not. I imagine somebody's got it.
Yeah, it's probably on something.
You know, even if you have to torrent it, Alex.
I don't do illegal stuff.
Yeah, it's like when you recommend a movie to someone, there's a lot greater likelihood of them watching it if it's on a streaming service. You know, if it means like, oh, I got to order the DVD or I got to borrow the DVD, no, I'm not doing that.
Well, I pointed out a documentary that I was watching to Alex the other day on Prime called BAM.
BAM.
Builders of Ancient Mysteries.
And I actually watched it.
What did you think of it?
That was good.
I'm not familiar with it.
That was
really good.
Yeah, it was really interesting how they did. They went because it's a whole bunch of different sites that they went to and try to
but
come
they
up.
centered on mostly Egyptian, Mayan, and they went as far back as one of the first civilizations. What was the name of it now? Topi. What was it? Topi Happy or Hopi or something like that.
Hopi.
Hope it was basically they date it back to just after the last ice age. I think 11,000 years ago. And that predates the Egyptians by almost 6,000 years. You know, so they unearthed this. What was fascinating about it was the technology that was used in this city, this little metropolis, the artwork, the detail. And they're saying that some of the stuff, given that at that point in time, we were only considered to be hunters and gatherers.
Yeah.
That we were able to build a city and monuments and monoliths and have that sort of technology. It doesn't make sense.
No, there's if you look at Graham Hancock's work.
Yeah,
Graham Hancock. And,
Graham Hancock. Yeah, he's written about it.
I'm trying to think of the other guy who did a book called Forbidden Archaeology. I'm totally brain farting on his name.
Alex, somebody pointed out in chat.
Yeah, it's Gobekli Tepe. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced.
What?
Say that again, Alex.
I don't know. Gobekli Tepe.
Oh, Gobekli Tepe. Yeah. That's an ancient city that was discovered.
Yes.
Graham Hancock postulates that we're a species with amnesia. We don't know our true history. There's been many archaeological anomalies that have been discovered over the years, things that do not fit with the current narrative of history. And unfortunately, most scientists, when they discover these anomalies, they push them to one side and ignore them, because these anomalies significantly contradict the narrative of the current path that's been defined as far as where we came from that brought us to where we are now.
Well, look at speaking of Gareth, speaking of that, you look at something. What was it off the west coast of California? I believe there was a Chinese wheel that was discovered in the ocean. That was from I believe from a Chinese ship.
Yeah.
And they dated it back well before Columbus had supposedly discovered North America.
Right.
And that begins to differ with history and saying, look at actually did the Chinese discover?
There's more and more evidence coming to that the Vikings landed on the east coast of Americas.
Vineland,
way before the whole Columbus thing.
And they're even saying that they've made it even as far down as the Mississippi with their boats.
Right, but I think that even though that's controversial and it might turn out to be true, I think that's basically recent history. Yeah. If you go back hundreds of thousands, dare I say it, millions of years into the past, the history is very, very different. Graham Hancock postulates that there was, at least at one time, maybe many times in the past, there was a global human civilization on Earth. Yep. Like we have now, we have a global civilization. That there was a global civilization that existed on Earth that touched every continent, and had a communication network and routes of trade. And it was a global civilization with very high technology that was wiped out completely. That basically pushed us back to the Stone Age. And these artifacts and these things that we're discovering are slowly adding the jigsaw pieces to our real past as humans.
At the same time, though, you hear about again you go to a certain point and say, look, we were hunters and gatherers. And we had we were cave paintings and paintings on rocks and and I think there was a point when it all stopped, just abruptly it all across the world it stopped. And think of it this way.
Think of it this way. We were hunter gatherers and we did do cave paintings.
Yeah.
And we could become hunter gatherers and do cave paintings again. If a big enough catastrophe happened to destroy, not to wipe out, but completely destroy civilization, to send us back to the Stone Age, within 3 or 4 generations, we'd be back to hunter gatherers again.
You're watching too much of the 100. I'm sorry.
No, this is reality.
I know what you're saying.
But if we were to go back and say, well, 100,000 years ago, mankind was hunter-gatherers. Well, that very well may be true, and it probably is. But 100,000 years before that, we probably had a globe-spanning high-technology civilization that was damaged or wiped out completely, which pushed us back, and we had to start over.
But we shot some into space. We colonized another planet, and they came back to save Earth again.
Well, I mean, considering that there are ruins on Mars and the Moon, which I personally don't believe were made by extraterrestrials. I think the ruins on the Moon and the ruins on Mars were made by human beings. I don't think it was made by space aliens. It was made by us.
I'd really like them to do. I'd really love them to do more research on the Moon. I really do. It's so close, and yet, Mars is fascinating. Don't get me wrong. Going further out into space is fascinating, but man, the Moon,
it's right there.
Come on, you're telling me we know everything about the fucking Moon?
Well, once again, we delve into the public and private levels of information.
Yeah.
Well, and I strongly believe there are 2 levels of information in regard to our place in the universe: what we're publicly told and what's privately known. And I think that we were talking about the Illuminati earlier on, and all that stuff. I think that those people are privileged to knowledge in regard to who we really are and what's really going on. And the more information you have, the better decisions you can make.
Absolutely.
Okay? And we don't have all the we just have little snippets, little breadcrumbs of information. But so how are we going to be able to put this puzzle together when we only have little pieces? With I'm not to say that they have all the information, but they have a significant chunk compared to what we have.
On that note, we're going to take a short break here. When we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit more of this. And you know, I don't know about you guys, but I've just had this overwhelming feeling that something maybe
on the horizon.
Something, the Earth is going to recycle itself, maybe? Who knows? We'll talk about that when we come back from break. Follow us on Twitter at Dark Discussions. Facebook, go to our Facebook group because that's the most up-to-date thing for guests and shows and all that. Just go to Facebook, search and type in Nocturnal Frequency Radio. And of course, our Instagram is Nocturnal Frequency Radio. Don't go anywhere. You're listening and watching us here on the New Visions Radio Network. And of course, our YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be around this wild, wacky, and sometimes disturbing world of ours. Yes, that's the intro to the Mindset Podcast, a weekly attempt to open eyes and shedding light on what's really going on in the world, all done by ripping apart the media madness that masquerades as news. Join me, Gareth Davies, every Sunday on the Mindset Podcast. You can find the show on all major podcasting services such as iTunes, Stitcher, and so on. Or you can go directly to the main Mindset website. That's www.mindsetcentral.com. Check out the Mindset Podcast. Bring your curiosity, your opinions, and a sense of humor. And remember that some worldviews are stranger than others.
And welcome back to Nocturnal Frequency Radio here live, audibly on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course, streaming live on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us, however you're joining us this evening, maybe on our YouTube channel or the New Visions Radio Network.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like if you're on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, please like and subscribe, like the show and subscribe. Let us know. You know,
because we have Gareth on a few times.
Yeah,
we have Gareth on a few times every. Gareth is a repeat. He's a repeat offender.
I'm a repeat offender. Yeah.
It's it's better though. Like I always enjoy having Justin on here because I love it when you pick on him.
Yeah, when the four of us are on, yeah.
Yeah, where is Justin? He's been hiding. He's been hiding for a while.
He's
What's
been
going
quiet.
on?
I tried to get him to come on tonight, but he wouldn't. He he
Yeah.
needs more notice.
Yeah.
Justin, if you're listening, call in.
Call in. Come on.
Call in. And
Hey,
you know what?
Even I called in last week.
Yeah, you did. That was a pretty good call. So you know what? Look at we'll open up the lines. The lines are open. 716-406-4472 is the number to call if you have something that you'd like to add to the conversation going on tonight. Once again, that number is 716-406-4472. Okay, so like I was mentioning earlier, and I don't know about you guys, but just something doesn't sit well. Something, it feels like it's looming. Mm-hmm. And I can't explain exactly what it is. It's just there. And Alex, you were saying that you read other people were saying the same thing.
So on Facebook, I belong to a bunch of different groups, and some of them are occult oriented. And they've been saying the same thing. There was a post actually, I think I read it yesterday, where they're essentially saying the same thing you are, where the guy who posted it says, the energies are so intense now that he feels like there's something that's coming, although they couldn't, state what that something was, nevertheless. And a lot of the people that were chiming in on the comment section were basically confirming it, saying that they were feeling the same thing. So it looks like, now, you and I, Steve, both have said this in the past, but both of us are both as psychic as a doorknob. But it seems like a lot of people are saying similar things, that something seems to be on the horizon. That's a shift. So almost like an energy shift, kind of.
That's right. We're as psychic dumb as they come.
Yep.
As a doorknob.
We were psychic dumb before psychic was popular.
Yeah, we were paranormal before paranormal.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. That was the reference I was going for.
Yeah. So no, I don't know what it is, and a lot of people go, look, I guess it all depends on what part of the world you're in or whatever your situation is. I don't know, but it just, something seems to be looming, very heavily, very very heavily looming.
So you guys are actually feeling this. You feel it.
I feel it. I feel it. I really do. I absolutely do feel it.
So Freethinker posted something on Freethinker posted something on chat saying global reset every 2,160 years.
By whose calendar though?
I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. I'd like to know more about that global thing.
So can I just is the number 716-406-4472?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What?
Is that's correct? All right, there we go.
Oh, you calling in? You're already on.
Yeah, I'm gonna call in. Hey, hello.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
So something disturbing is coming your way.
Oh, yeah.
I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. So no, I posted the number in the chat just
so I mean, I energy. I don't know what. Just something just doesn't. It seems off. And what is it? Is this a new era? What's going on? I don't know. I just, something does not seem like in place. It seems like, I don't know. I can't describe it. I really just can't describe it.
Now, when you say something's coming, I'm assuming you mean something negative.
I don't know if it's negative. I don't know if it's positive. I could tell you. I feel like.
So the sentiment on that group was it's neither negative or positive. It's just a shift. So people generally, when it comes to a shift or a change, will view it either negative or positively.
Coming from an occultist group, fuck that shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, can you imagine if we were having this discussion in December 2019, and we were saying something's coming.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Gareth, Because Ron just posted on the group there on the chat there, says, I predict a pandemic will come.
A pandemic will come.
Yeah.
And then somebody said war is coming.
Yeah.
I mean
that's a good point, though, that a pandemic will come, because we haven't seen one yet. So, maybe there will be one in the future.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a massive psyop and a global manipulation.
So, okay, well, let me ask you, what would you consider a pandemic to be? Like, what would you consider?
I would consider a legitimate pandemic would be that every single person on Earth would know at least one person who has died from the disease.
I know 3 people that have died from it.
And so does Justin.
You are an extreme rarity, because the vast majority of people on Earth know nobody that has died from the disease.
I don't know. What circles have you been in? Have you been on Mars the last few years?
I've been in the reality circle, my friend.
He's been in the gopher hole.
As opposed to the consuming media delusionary circle.
No, I don't buy into a lot of the media. I just don't. I don't. That's why I got vaccinated.
I mean, you'd go to work and
there'd be
a guy saying, "Oh yeah, my uncle died," and then they would say, "Oh, your uncle died, my mother died," and then you'd walk to the store and the store would be empty. Where is everyone? Well, they're dead. And then you'd walk down and then it'd be more. That's a pandemic.
No, that's The Walking Dead.
To me,
a pandemic.
No, to me, a pandemic.
That's a pandemic.
Listen, to me, a pandemic would be when 2/3 of the population are eradicated.
Exactly. I mean, if it was a real pandemic, I don't need the media convincing me that there's a pandemic.
No, I say that because that's the way I want it to be.
So what is this? Is this a forced cleanse?
Yeah, the cleanse. Yeah.
Is this the world needs an enema?
That's right. The world needs an enema.
Needs an enema.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, a real pandemic is, I wouldn't need the media to tell me there was a pandemic. I would fucking know.
So how many people in California?
You would see it. Everywhere you look, you would see this shit.
So what's the deal with California registering its first population loss decline in ever, or whatever it was? Apparently apparently they registered the first population decline in X amount of years or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, and I don't know whether that's related to the pandemic.
No, that's because Gareth kicked him out.
Get out of here. Yeah.
But yeah, it's of course, like a lot of things, there's 2 sides of the fence. Obviously, there's right.
Yeah, well, there's a third side too, because even though I don't think this is a pandemic, and you do,
I never said that. Never said that. Okay. I'm asking you.
But go ahead. There's a third option, right? We both could be right. There's something else going on, and I'm seeing evidence for one thing, you're seeing evidence for another, but there's a third option which we haven't even considered. There's lots of different possibilities that could be unfolding here.
Well, I mean, we saw something here that most of the world didn't see, and that's the SARS thing unfold.
Oh, when was that? Was like 2008 or something?
That was early 2000s, like 2003.
And ravaging a lot of healthcare and in this area. So I in the beginning I started sort of comparing the two and going, look at, okay, how is this COVID thing, brushing up against SARS? And to me, the SARS thing seemed a lot more urgent, a lot more than COVID.
That's a good point.
COVID, don't get me wrong, it's had its urgencies, don't get me wrong. But for some reason, I always remember SARS being more, things were more urgent. It was more in your face than COVID was in terms of its urgency.
Now, you make a good
that's just
point.
me, right?
No, but keep in mind that there also wasn't a lockdown during SARS.
There wasn't a lockdown in SARS either.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and you have to. So the way I see it, and I don't disagree with you, Steve, entirely, because when SARS came around, it was something that we hadn't faced in a long time. Like this kind of sort of, and it's similar to COVID, except it's not just as fast moving.
No.
But it didn't get to the level that COVID did, and there was no lockdown. So the way I see it, the reason why it seems that way is because, you know, it was something that we hadn't experienced before. You know what I mean?
Why wasn't the bird flu? Why wasn't there lockdowns there?
Because it didn't get to the extent that COVID did.
It got pretty bad.
Not to the extent of COVID.
No.
But that's the reason why.
It got pretty damn bad. It did.
The way they determined this.
What was it? 260. What was it? I forget how many Americans were affected by the bird flu. A shitload.
3.
Yeah. No. Seriously.
I don't know.
There was quite a lot of people in the U.S. that were affected by it.
I don't know. I don't have those figures in front of me. But you know, but having said that, anyone who works in numbers and or statistics knows that most numbers are nonsense. All right, they're padded and made up and fictionalized. So there's
seriously.
I'm being serious.
Our genetic makeup is numbers.
Okay.
Ones and zeros, man.
We're all robots.
But when they come out and say 60%,
did you not watch The Matrix?
I did. I love that. Hey, are you looking forward to The Matrix 4?
Not really.
I am really looking forward to it, dude.
I mean, I'll check it out, but it's been. I think too much time has passed.
It's been 20 years.
I know. I don't know.
I can't wait.
I think we're living in the Matrix right now.
Very well could be.
Pinch yourself.
Pinch yourself.
Hang on, let me spin my little top.
Yeah, there you go. Inception.
There you go, Inception.
Okay.
You very well could be. I don't know.
So what do you think then? I mean, you haven't had a thought or inkling or anything, or just this weird feeling that something is on the horizon and it's
well, no, I have for the last year. Not recently. Recently, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But for the last year, I've seen things unfold down a certain path, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong. But we'll see.
You're hoping that you're wrong.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't want to be right about this. I'd rather be wrong. I would rather be a paranoid, delusional conspiracy theorist.
Some fucking crazy motherfucker.
I want to be a paranoid, delusional conspiracy theorist.
So
I want to be a mental case.
So in other words, you want to be.
I want to be all those things.
So in other words, you want to be yourself.
Yeah, you want to be myself. Because if I'm right, and I really hope I'm not. I really, really hope I'm wrong. But if I'm right, things are gonna get fucked up real quick.
Name a movie where the dude Mel Gibson plays a conspiracy theorist.
Conspiracy theory.
Wow, that was a hard one.
That was a hard one.
That was really hard.
Did you know that was a great movie up until the last 20 minutes?
Oh,
you noticed that?
Yeah, it was a good movie. Yes.
The last 20 minutes of the movie, you're like, what the fuck am I watching?
Don't ask Alex if you see.
They destroyed the movie. The movie was like great shit. Did you notice that?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with, okay, look at we already know the answers. No, it's a conspiracy theory. No, it was a good movie, and yeah, the ending sucked.
It was horrible.
It was terrible.
It was like the Game of Thrones.
Oh, now there's a big conspiracy theory.
Oh, God. Game of Thrones. What a kick in the balls that was, dude.
Sped up to end the series, it just absolutely sucked.
Dude, if it was not for the last season of Game of Thrones would probably be in the top 5 greatest TV shows ever made. And then that final season was so fucking shit, it just ripped the guts out of the entire show.
Well, it was like, again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It came crash landing down.
It was heartbreaking because up until that point, it was one of the greatest shows ever made.
Well,
it
you
was
invested how many
amazing.
fucking years? How many years do you invest? And then all of a sudden you're left with this and you're like, well, what the
I was hanging on their every word. It was like a religious experience. Every Sunday night, I would be fucking glued. I could not go to work the next day without seeing the show because everyone would be talking about it. Literally, everyone would be talking about it.
It was like the medieval version of Lost.
Oh, dude. Well, we'll talk about Lost. The first, and I've said this many times, first 3 seasons of Lost, some of the greatest television,
and then they became Lost
ever made.
They became Lost.
Let me just say this. People in the chat room, if you've never seen Lost, watch the first 3 seasons and then hit the stop button. Because if you just watch the first 3 seasons, you'll walk away saying, "Man, that was a fucking great show."
Alex,
if you go past season 3, you're gonna want to gouge your eyes out. It's so shit.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
terrible.
You want to like it. You give it because you've invested the first 3 seasons, and I really love this. And then all of a sudden, it's like, okay,
dude, first 3 seasons, you literally want to stand up and applaud the television screen.
Yeah,
it's so good.
It was amazing. Alex, have you seen that?
And then it quickly turns to shit. You've never seen Lost?
No.
Watch the first 3 seasons, dude.
God, you're fucking. We're still in lockdown. You got time to fucking binge watch it.
Sure. I'll see if it's on any of the streaming networks.
For tonight's show.
Mind Prism. Well, there you go. Look at that. Check that shit out. You got some great fucking beers, dude. That's awesome.
So yeah, it's really too bad. Really good show, and yeah, it just tanked.
Mm-hmm.
Just tanked.
Just spiraled into garbage real quick. Unfortunately,
I wanted to ask you guys. Okay, so we'll take a break around 1:15 or 10:30 something. I don't know, but whatever. UFO experiences. UFO. I want to get into this a little bit.
Okay.
I'll ask both of you. Gareth, when you were a kid,
mm-hmm.
what UFO incident were you most intrigued with? That you said, "Oh man, this is amazing. I need to know more."
There was a couple.
Okay. 2.
One I remember distinctly was the Rendlesham Forest incident in the UK. I remember seeing that as a kid in the newspapers and being curious about it. I remember that. I also remember the case of a policeman named Alan Godfrey who was abducted, and he came out. That was another case that impacted me when I was young that I became aware of. Also, George Adamski, which was a contactee in the 1950s, was also a case that really interested me as a kid. And as I got older, I dismissed it as like he was a con man and a bullshit artist. But now that I've gotten older again, I'm revisiting it and looking at it through new eyes, and I'm kind of moving away from the con man bullshit artist angle.
Alex, how about you?
I've never really been big into UFOs, but the one that obviously stood out is the most common one, which is the Roswell incident.
Oh yeah, Roswell.
Yeah, that's the one that caught my attention, if anything. But even like when you look at the Skinwalker Ranch, they've had some UFO anomalies there, and that's something that's really has intrigued me, as far as because they also touch on a point at some point during the book that they wrote about it is where this sort of portal opens up, And two of the investigators are out in the field, and they see this sort of portal, and on the other side of the portal, they see this sort of vehicle in there, and that's this is why when we talked about UFOs in the past on the prior shows, I have a tendency to lean towards having a lot of them being interdimensional as opposed to within this reality and having traveled all those millions of light years.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I do consider myself a ufologist. I've studied the topics since I was 11 years old. I've been into UFOs. I've read a considerable amount of books about it, and I've thought a lot about the subject. And the only conclusion I've come to is that we are interacting with something that is not us.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever we're interacting with, it's not human. Now, whether it's extraterrestrial, interdimensional, ultra-terrestrial, whether they're indigenous to Earth, whether they're from, who knows? Okay, we can play the speculation game all night because we simply don't have access to that information. But we are definitely 100% interacting with something that is not us.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think one of the cases that has always intrigued me ever since I was a kid was the Falcon Lake UFO incident with I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I'm not.
Gareth.
Not familiar with that one.
Very, very interesting. A man named Stephen Michaluk. I can never say his last name.
Mm-hmm.
Had an incident where he basically had claimed that he had witnessed a craft one evening, and he even they had documented burns, mysterious burns on his clothes and on his body.
Oh, wait, is this the guy up in the mountains? He was a geologist looking for rocks and stuff, and he sees the saucer land?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
I am familiar with
Lake
that.
Manitoba.
It burned a very specific pattern on his chest.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I am familiar with that case. It's a fascinating case.
Very, very. He described
very
them
compelling,
as two cigar-shaped objects with humps in the middle, and he very fascinating. It's probably one of the most well-known documented UFO cases in Canada, as far as I know.
That's a great one. That really is a good one, because not only is there's witness testimony, there's physical evidence, the radiation burns, the burns on his chest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He absolutely encountered something. There's no question. When you watch interviews with him, there's no way this guy is bullshitting. There's no way he's making this up. He is being completely honest.
He was totally down to earth, and no pun intended there. But he was totally down to earth in terms of what he experienced. I kind of equate it to a guest that we had on the show several years ago who had this incident happen where he had captured some stuff on a deer cam in his backyard. Mm-hmm. And he Alex, the Bubble Boy stuff.
Yep.
He just didn't understand what he had captured, and he wanted to know. Like, I don't look into this kind of stuff, but this is crazy. This stuff doesn't make sense to me. I want to make heads or tails out of this, but I can't.
Well, one of the downfalls of ufology, and it ties very much into the paranormal realm also, and I know that Steve and Alex, you're very much immersed in the paranormal more so than ufology, but there is a kind of overlap, because ufology and the paranormal, it attracts a certain kind of person. Mm-hmm. And these two subjects are magnets for people who are bullshit artists or mentally ill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yep. And it's a magnet for this kind of personality type. which is a shame because it muddies the water, because there is a real phenomena there, right? Paranormal phenomena is real and it does exist. And it's the same with ufology. UFO phenomena, abductions, interaction with otherworldly beings is real. It really does happen. But because there's so many liars, bullshit artists, con men, and mental cases that are attracted to these subjects, it muddies the water. And when so-called normie regular people who, let's be honest, usually don't have a fucking thought in their head, when they're immersed, when they encounter these subjects, they immediately gravitate to the Looney Tunes and the mental cases, and then it's all over.
Well, and part of the problem with that is because, unfortunately, when it comes to both the paranormal and ufology, there isn't concrete evidence that you could just present at will. You know what I mean? Yeah, there are many cases of documented cases of UFO abductions and paranormal, but it is just that. Unfortunately, if we had something that we could physically say here, or this is this, it would eliminate a lot of the bullshitters, because at least that way you have a little bit more credibility.
Well, in the case of ufology, that's not entirely. It's mostly true, but not entirely true. We have to kind of draw the line and kind of explain the difference between evidence and proof, right?
Now, there's that word, evidence.
That's Steve's favorite word.
There's no proof, right? In ufology, there is no public proof that this happens.
It's the same
in the paranormal. There's no proof.
No, there's no proof. And to be honest,
but there's a lot of evidence.
Yeah, and to me, it's one and the same. To be honest.
Okay.
I would say, look, I've got these interesting findings, but I wouldn't call it proof, or I wouldn't call it evidence.
What do you mean you wouldn't call it? I wouldn't.
We don't know.
I get when you say
basically, when it comes to the paranormal, most stuff that people slap out there and say it's evidence, it's really in terms of what?
Well, you Steve, you might be throwing the baby out with the bathwater when you say something like that, okay? Because I mean, for the most part, you might be correct when you say, "Well, this is evidence." Well, evidence of what, right? And it all depends what you're going to define. This is evidence of, like, well, this is evidence of life after death. And when you dig into it, you'll be like, "Well, no, there's no evidence here of life after death."
Yeah.
But there is evidence of something very strange and unusual happening here.
Sure. In that aspect, yeah, there's something very unusual.
So there is evidence. It's evidence,
yeah.
but it's not so much that evidence doesn't exist. The issue here is defining what it's evidence of.
If somebody is going to go look at, they're going to slap on YouTube, a video that they took and the title says evidence of ghosts,
right?
Evidence of the paranormal.
Right.
Number one, you're saying evidence of the paranormal. The paranormal is a broad fucking word.
I agree completely.
So
totally
when
agree.
you're telling me you've got evidence, how do you know? I mean, look at the person's background, and what background does he have to say? Look at this is evidence.
Well, it can. Well, see, once again, we go back to it. The evidence can be real. The evidence of what is what needs to be defined. Like I could say, I have a video here that is evidence that ghosts exist. And you could watch the video and say, well, that's evidence of something very real, but I don't see where you're getting this whole ghost bullshit from.
And what is a fucking ghost? I mean, honestly.
But you see the point I'm making?
Yeah, I see the point you're making. I think part of the problem is that the paranormal field, and I'm sure the UFO field has similar issues, is that 99, well, okay, this is figures I'm pulling out of my ass, obviously, but 99%, in other words, a lot of people will use the word evidence loosely.
Yes, I
right?
agree.
And this is part of the problem that Steve and I both have when people say that. And this is why Steve and I both try to shy away from that word, because you're right. It is evidence of something going on.
Yes.
But the problem is that we don't know what that something is. And it could be something very mundane that we don't know yet, or we haven't figured out yet.
Exactly.
Right?
Now, let me throw something in the mix, like EVP. Right.
Yeah.
Now, I know both of you are very, very familiar, and you've captured some phenomenal EVPs. So EVPs, from my perspective, is evidence, but it's evidence of something very strange and unexplained happening. Not necessarily evidence of survival after death, or evidence of ghosts, right? But it's evidence of something.
Evidence of something,
yes. Right?
And that's the way I look at it. Yeah,
that's what I mean by evidence.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of evidence. There's tons of it. There's no proof, but there's tons and tons of evidence.
So then, look at, I got proof of the paranormal right here. Then what?
Well, then you need to investigate and find out if the guy legitimately does have proof or he's a mental case.
Look, I got proof. I got proof that Bigfoot exists.
Okay, then let's see the proof. Let's examine it, right?
I got it in my fucking deep freezer here.
Yeah. I got proof of a very big bowel movement.
Yeah, baby.
That I can prove.
Yes, absolutely. From another dimension. I really do believe that I believe glitches in the time. I absolutely do believe that plays a lot into it. Not necessarily. You see, I was never one to believe that some of these findings, evidence, whatever you want to call them, is necessarily something from the other side or the death.
I agree.
I don't. And that's the problem I have with a lot of what's going on in the paranormal to this day, that most people think traditionally and they continue to think inside the box and are afraid to think outside of it, therefore hampering it. And it's just a recycled piece of shit.
So Steve, it might sound like that I'm disagreeing with you, but actually, I agree with you completely. I think you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
It's not that there is a huge amount of evidence that exists. The issue here is deciding what it is evidence of.
Yeah.
That's the issue, right? Like for me, I consider EVP to be real evidence, right? It's legit evidence that something very strange is going on here that we don't fully understand. But is it evidence of ghosts? Is it evidence of the afterlife? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But it's evidence of something strange.
Strange. There's that word, strange.
Something
very strange.
Doesn't make sense.
Does not make sense at all.
And
that's the reason why you should be listening to us every Sunday night here.
We bring strange.
We love talking about the strange.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. This world is strange. This lockdown is strange.
This world needs an enema.
Oh.
Town needs an enema.
I think it's getting it. It's called COVID enema.
Yeah.
COVID.
Oh wait, we might be erased from the annals of YouTube for saying the C word.
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude. You know what? You're right. I got banned for a week from saying shit about COVID.
Really?
Yeah, from YouTube. They banned me for a week.
Yeah, their algorithms are pretty.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, let's
see. Maybe you'll slip under the radar.
Yeah, right.
We'll see. We'll see what these.
Well, we're not doing a good job of slipping under the radar when we bring it to light here, right? But let's mask it a little bit more with ghost talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
That was very ghostly, by the way.
Ghostly,
yeah. What happened? Who's taking off?
Oh, number one fan's hitting it. He said he's going to bed.
Number one.
Who's number one fan?
He's the guy that shows up on my live streams every once in a while.
Well, thank you for tuning in, number one fan, and thank you for.
I think he subscribed also. So
awesome.
So
great.
Let me ask all the guys in the chat right now that have come over because I've asked you to, please subscribe to Nocturnal Frequencies. I'm sure that you've enjoyed the show this evening. Steve and Alex are great guys. They do an awesome show, and they deserve a subscribe. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell, all that bullshit. Do it now. Get to the chopper. Do it now.
Do it now.
Yeah, I mean, this has been primarily a radio show, and this is the first season that we've decided to simulcast it here on YouTube. So yeah, it's a whole new ball game for us in that aspect.
So subscribe. Don't be a little bitch. Subscribe.
Yeah. Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, there's that fine line between, I guess, evidence, proof, and findings.
Well, I mean, I'll say it again. I'll repeat myself. There is no publicly available evidence, but there is there is no publicly available proof, but there's a huge amount of evidence.
Yeah.
But no proof.
But we're, it's funny because Alex is awfully quiet with that.
No, I was just reading a comment saying, I only came over because Gareth said there were strippers would be on the show. Right, yeah, listen, if you want to see Gareth strip, man, you're on the wrong show.
Yeah, you are. You 100% are on the wrong show. But I'm not going to be doing that. If I strip, you'll hear this.
Can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
I mean, the people in the chat in the stream heard it.
That's Alex.
That's Alex's one.
That's what you'll hear.
That's what you hear. The big reveal.
Oh, the big reveal. Okay, we're going to take a short break here. When we come back, more of this and more with Gareth of the Mindset Podcast. You've been listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio here on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course, watching us on our YouTube channel. Hold tight. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Nocturnal Frequency Radio.
evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be around this wild, wacky, and sometimes disturbing world of ours. Yes, that's the intro to the Mindset Podcast, a weekly attempt to open eyes and shedding light on what's really going on in the world, all done by ripping apart the media madness that masquerades as news. Join me, Gareth Davies, every Sunday on the Mindset Podcast. You can find the show on all major podcasting services such as iTunes, Stitcher, and so on. Or you can go directly to the main Mindset website. That's www.mindsetcentral.com. Check out the Mindset Podcast. Bring your curiosity, your opinions, and a sense of humor. And remember that some worldviews are stranger than others.
Welcome back to Nocturnal Frequency Radio here live on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course streaming, live streaming on our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if you missed the second half, we were talking about
third. The second third, because we took two breaks. Third? First third, second third. This is the third.
Well, the last half, whatever. We
Math geniuses.
About, UFOs, some classic UFO tales, and of course, some weird shit.
Yeah.
Right. Lots of weird shit.
I love weird shit. That's my favorite thing.
We're all about weird shit.
That's my jam.
Stranger the better.
How? Strange but true. So, well, let me ask you about the, another case I've been really intrigued with, and that's obviously the one that Fire in the Sky is based upon, the Travis Walton.
Travis Walton, yeah.
I mean, what do you think about it? What do you think about that?
I think it's 100% legit. I don't think he's bullshitting. I think he's on the level. I think it really happened, and there you go. There's a handful of UFO abduction cases that I think are real, or maybe not abduction, but UFO stories that I think are real. And I can go through them one by one if you want. We can go through them. I think Travis Walton is legit. I think the Allagass abductions is legit. I think. Whoa, hey! I think I think Whitley Strieber, his story is legit. I think Bob Lazar. I think his story is legit, and so on. I don't think these people are lying. I think they're being honest.
I'm not completely Bob Lazar.
You don't like Bob?
Send me an invite, by the way.
You got it
on Clubhouse.
All right, I will hook you up, dude. I'll ping you.
I'm waiting. Got your invite? It says got your invite sex yet?
I'm gonna need your.
I think you downloaded the wrong Clubhouse one.
Oh yeah, you might get the wrong one. I'm gonna need your phone number for me to send you the invite.
Okay. You need my number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, don't say it on
I'm not going.
No, I was gonna say, why did you just say it on air?
Just don't say it on. No. Just email me or message me or something.
My phone number is
911
716-406-4472.
There you go.
The number,
come on,
the number to call.
Call us.
The
call
number
us
to
now.
call. Come on, for crying out loud. We must have a lot of UFO buffs out there, for crying out loud.
There's got to be some guys who are whacked out of their skull.
God damn it.
UFO shit. It's got to be you maniacs.
Oh God.
But yeah, let's talk about Bob Lazar. Let's talk. I love Bob Lazar.
Okay, sure, yeah.
So, Steve, I'm getting the vibe that you think he's a bullshit artist. Am I wrong?
No.
I was hoping you'd say I was wrong. Come on. So why? I mean, aside from the fact that he makes some outlandish claims, what leads you down the path that you think he's lying?
I never said that. Did you hear me say that? I never said that.
You just said you don't believe him.
Yeah.
I don't believe that he thinks they're gray and not blue.
Huh?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding with you, Gareth. I'm just kidding with you. I love that cut, eh?
Spock. No, what are you talking? So are you?
Gareth, if you haven't figured it out yet, Steve likes to do this to people.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do believe him?
I don't. Look, I'm sitting on the fence. I'm just sitting on the fence. I'd like to believe him, but
and it's a barbed wire fence, by the way.
What?
I said it's a barbed wire fence he's sitting on.
Ooh. It's gotta hurt.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you, what makes you believe him?
Because his story is consistent.
Okay,
he has not changed his story in over 30 years. Okay. And you find that most people who are bullshit artists, over time, they elaborate and exaggerate and add components to their story. Bob Lazar has not. Bob Lazar is a legitimate scientist who has his own scientific company called United Nuclear. Every interview that I've seen of him, when people have asked him very specific, detailed questions, he has been able to provide very specific, detailed answers, and answers that not only make sense, but answers that are consistent to the overall story, and answers that have remained the same throughout the past 30 years.
Really?
Yes. That's
But okay, so tell me about this latest FBI flak that he was a part of. Like we're talking
the last from the movie with Jeremy Corbell, with the FBI raided his company. Yeah. So there's a lot of speculation in regard to Element 115, which he claimed was this back in 1989 when he went public with this. He claimed that there was an element from the periodic table called Element 115, that was the element that was a stable element that would power, that was the fuel, so to speak, for these flying saucers, these exotic high technology craft. Now, back in 1989, element 115 did not exist. Okay, there was no scientific basis that this element existed. That's not true anymore. We now know the element is very, very real. And I think, and I might be wrong here, but I think the element was discovered legitimately in 2013, and I could be wrong. But he was talking about element 115 in 1989. Now, he also, well, no, he doesn't really claim this, but it's alluded to the fact that he smuggled a small portion of element 115 out of Area S4 when he worked there, and that he still has it. And this is the smoking gun. Element 115, if he has a stable quantity of element 115, that kind of blows the lid off this thing. During the making of the film Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers with Jeremy Corbell, who was the filmmaker, Jeremy Corbell wanted to know if he had element 115.
Yeah, okay.
So Bob Lazar said, okay, turn off your phones, leave your phones in the house, and we'll walk to the woods behind my house, and we'll have a conversation.
Okay.
So they turned off their phones, they left the phones in the house, and they walked, I don't know what distance, out into the woods, no electronics on them, and they had a conversation about what you laughing? They had a conversation about element 115. The next day, the FBI show up. The FBI show up and they raid his business.
Okay.
And they searched everything. And the mysterious thing is that the FBI agents repeated verbatim some of the conversation that Corbell had with Lazar in the woods behind their house, where they had no electronics. So it leads him to believe that Lazar is. Why are you laughing? What the fuck is going on here? I see he's busting up over there. What's going on?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's the end. It's the end of the night. We've had a bit too much to drink.
Okay.
Is that what it is, Alex?
I think that's what it is.
So that's basically the crux of it. That the FBI raided his place looking for element 115. That's why they raided.
So okay, what exactly is element 115? What is it exactly?
I just told you. It's the fuel source of the flying saucer.
From the flying saucer.
Right.
And this is from the flying saucer from which area? Area 51.
No. S4.
S4.
S4. Okay.
So and you're saying that they found now discovered the element here on Earth?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the element exactly? What's the makeup of this element? What do we know?
Yeah.
More about this? Okay.
Well, in 1989, when Bob Lazar talked about it, it didn't exist. There was no scientific basis for this element existing. That's not the case anymore.
Which is kind of weird if you think about it, because if we're talking about a UFO craft that's powered by this element 115, is it B115 or element 115?
Element 115.
Okay, we'll just say element 115. Okay, fine. And then we also have, all of a sudden, we discovered it here on this planet. It kind of makes you wonder where exactly is this these UFOs coming from? Could it be, and this is just obviously me pulling straws out of a hat here, but could it be something that it's a future sort of species on this planet that have traveled back in time?
Sure. Who knows? Yeah. Lazar kind of speculates that he when he was working at S4, somebody told him that the craft that he was working on was discovered in an archaeological dig.
And oh, really?
Yeah.
What do we know more about this dig, or
we have no further information other than the craft was discovered in an archaeological dig, which paints the picture that this craft he was working on could be thousands, if not tens of thousands of years old. And why are you laughing, Steve?
Well,
you need
there the timeline is there. See, 10,000 years. The timeline is there. This is what I mean. 10 to 11,000 years ago, when we were supposed to be only fucking hunter gatherers.
This conversation went full circle. We started off with this conversation.
I mean, who knows? But I strongly believe that Lazar's legit. I do not think he's making this shit up. I think he's telling it like it is. I think that he did work on extraterrestrial technology significantly advanced from what we have on Earth. He says himself, when he first saw the saucer in the hangar, he was like, oh, well, that explains it. All these people are seeing UFOs and flying saucers. It's just stuff that we've created and they're misidentifying them. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's the end of that mystery. And he firmly believed that until he went inside the craft. And when he went inside and he saw 3 chairs on the main hangar deck, and these chairs were so small they were designed for children, as if they were designed for children. And at that point, it kind of clicked.
Well, let's face it. I mean, if anything is going to visit us, if any alien craft or whatever else, I kind of think that these crafts are beyond our comprehension. Period.
Well, no. We according to Lazar.
Well, this is according to Lazar,
according to Lazar.
Yeah.
At this point, we completely, 100% understand how these craft function. We completely understand how they work.
That's according to him, though.
But here's the caveat. We cannot duplicate the technology because of the materials that these craft are made of. In other words, the material science that creates the fabric of the craft, the metallics, the circuitry, whatever, is so far ahead of us, is that we cannot duplicate the physicality of the craft. We understand how it works. Okay. We just cannot duplicate it. It's a little bit like, imagine taking an iPhone and sending it back through time 100 years.
Can you imagine that?
Well, think about this. You'd send it back 100 years, and you're looking at the iPhone, and 100 years ago, you completely, 100% understand exactly how this thing works. But you cannot duplicate it because the material science of that time, 100 years ago, is not advanced enough to duplicate the technology. And that's exactly the situation that we're in right now with these craft that Lazar worked on.
But what about if even like some of the material that these crafts are made of is made of material that's not native to this planet? I mean, if we don't have the material that these crafts are made of, we'll never be able to do it.
Well, that's not necessarily the case because they've examined the material. And the way the material works is that there's layers of metal and material which is indigenous to Earth. So we have the layering, we have the substance, but the way this material is put together, this material appears to be fused at the molecular structure. In other words, they have layers of different metal that are kind of molecularly, if I can say the word, molecularly
entangled,
bonded together to create one layer of substance. And we simply do not have the technology and or skill to currently do that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It makes sense though. I know what you're saying, Dave.
Yeah.
There was a comment in chat that I completely agree with.
What do they say?
It's just plain ignorance to think that we are the only intelligent beings out there. I absolutely agree with that. I really can't fathom. Try to think rationally the size of the universe, and we can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
The question is not so much whether there's other beings in the universe. I have no doubt that there is. The question is whether they have the technology and the means to be able to travel.
I think they do.
Well, no, and that may be the case for some, but I think the sticking point with a lot of people who are non-believers or who are not open-minded enough is that the universe is vast. And what they try to compare, and the way they try to compare it is, well, we can't do it, therefore no one else can. And that's the wrong way to do it. Because we are not at that level where we can travel through space fast enough to be able to go to another planet, even within our own solar system, within a good period of time.
Let me throw this one on you cats. If so, you have the time dilation effect according to Einstein's theory of relativity. The faster you travel and you approach the speed of light, time changes. In other words,
depends.
If we were to travel in a spaceship to Alpha Centauri, right? And let's just say, and I'm making up numbers right here. So please, if there's anyone listening who's going to call me, that's incorrect. That's the wrong number. I'm making shit up. So let's just say our journey from Earth to Alpha Centauri would take us 10 years, right? And we wouldn't reach the speed of light, but we'd approach it. We'd get very close to the speed of light, and it would take us 10 years to get there. So for us on that ship, 10 years would pass.
On Earth, it'd be more.
Yeah. But on Earth, 100,000 years would pass.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you think of it that way, it's completely possible that they could travel to us, because for them, it's 10 years.
Yep.
But it's also a question of, is it possible? And I know I'm getting into like Star Trek territory here, but is it possible to travel faster than the speed of light?
I don't think it's possible to travel at the speed of light, but it is possible to approach the speed of light. In other words, to get close to it. And that's all you need to do, is to get close to it. Because the people on the ship, it might take 20 years to travel from A to B. Now, on their home planet, hundreds of thousands of years have passed. But for them on the ship, it's 20 years. That's not a big deal.
Well, what about bending space-time?
But for them to get to us, it's not that big of a deal.
No, but what about bending the space-time?
They miss that connection.
Okay, but you've watched Event Horizon, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you know when they talk about that. See, this is one movie I did watch. I know Steve's laughing.
You saw a movie.
Yeah, I actually saw a movie.
Oh, hang on. Stop the fucking press.
Yeah.
Alex watched a fucking movie.
You watched the fucking
Holy
movie?
shit.
I did watch a movie. Yes, I did watch a movie. So they're talking about, what's the fastest to get from point A to point B. And a lot of people, obviously, the generic answer is go on a straight line. But the way they said it is to bend it and poke a hole through it and just go through it.
Folding space, yeah.
Right. So, I mean, although we may not be able to go faster or as fast as the speed of light, we could still travel great distances if we're capable of doing that. And in a lot less time.
Now, interestingly enough, this is exactly the way Bob Lazar describes these craft to work.
Mm-hmm. Is
that they fold space-time. They work on a gravitational pulse.
Yeah.
So what they do is they have three at the base of the saucer. There's three gravity devices.
Mm-hmm.
And they focus these gravity devices on the point that they want to go to, right? And they don't travel to the point. The point travels to them, which means it's almost instantaneous movement through space.
Because the way I see it, it's like, I mean, if you have an advanced race who can travel to other planets or have the technology to travel to other planets. If you're going by conventional means, meaning reaching the speed of light or close to it,
right.
Although the travelers in the spacecraft may not experience an extended period of time, but their home planet would. It would defeat the purpose of doing it.
No, not at all.
Why
It would, because by the time you come here and then come back, hundreds of thousands of years would have passed on their home planet.
Yeah,
we don't even know if their species is still alive. So my guess.
We have to assume that time is entirely different to them than it is to us.
Time is a construct. It's a construct that we developed.
It's a human construct.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's a construct for us to be able to determine.
Time to them is entirely different than it is to us.
No, it's not.
I mean,
no.
It's not.
We are ignorant to think that it isn't. I'm sorry.
No, the time as we describe it, yes.
As we describe it.
But, okay, time is the wrong word to say it, but I have to use it because there's no other way. Time in general will always continue the way it is. We just labeled it as time, and we say, 1 minute is 60 seconds and so on and so forth, because that's the way we can understand it.
This is what I mean. We understand time because of how we've constructed it.
But it doesn't mean it's different somewhere else.
No, time.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Well, no, time is different in different places, right?
Yeah.
It's in regard to gravity and so on. The way we perceive time.
If you're talking about a daylight, yes, it depends on how far from the star you are.
But
no. But a minute is a minute is a minute.
Okay. To us.
It's a minute to everybody.
Not necessarily.
Hold on. If we were to finally be able to travel to another planet that's further away from its star than we are, meaning the year is longer, to us a year is still a year. The problem is,
but that's an
to us though. This is us. All right. This is why I'm saying
that's fine.
There's a great scene. Well, let me just say this. There's a great scene in the movie in Interstellar where they land. They land on that planet. Oh yeah, you've seen it.
By the way, we have to sign off on New Visions.
And an hour on the planet is like 10 years on Earth. So every hour that they spend on the planet, to them, it's just an hour.
Okay, but that's I'm talking. But this is a construct. I'm talking about.
But on Earth,
the concept of time. You're not really understanding what I'm saying. But before we do that, we have to sign off on New Visions first.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
Let's sign off there first, and we'll continue on here.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to Nocturnal Frequency Radio here on the New Visions Radio Network. If you'd like to join us here on our YouTube channel, we're going to go a little bit longer on the YouTube channel. Come on over, just type in Nocturnal Frequency Radio in the YouTube search, and you'll find us. It's live for a little bit longer. Bonus time. Thank you for tuning in on the New Visions Radio Network, and we'll see you next weekend.
Take care. All right.
There you go.
So what I was getting at is simple. Okay. Yes, I know time is a construct made up by humans.
I gotta go to the restroom.
Now you gotta go to the restroom.
Can you wait time is an illusion, Mr. Spock. Can you wait like 30 seconds? I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Seriously, we have a construct.
I understand that, but let's wait until Gareth gets back.
Okay.
And I know exactly what you guys are saying. I do, but you're not getting what I'm saying. And this is what I'm going to try to explain if you guys let me without cutting me off.
You do your best.
I'm going to do my best. It's a very simple thing. I mean, it's the reason why we get stuck on that is because we're using the term that we developed to be able to determine length of time or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem. This is why you guys are not understanding what I'm saying. But when Gareth gets back, I'll talk about what I was going to say, and hopefully that'll get it across to you what I'm trying to say.
Why, are you alien?
I am an alien. I'm an alien to this country.
You're an alien to this country.
Yeah.
Oh God. No, but seriously, I get what you're saying, Alex. I really do.
Do you?
No, I do. But the thing is, you have to think outside of what we have constructed.
No, I know. That's not what I'm getting at, though. And now, again, I don't want to get. Or maybe we can just reiterate to Gareth when he gets back. If we go to another planet, okay, let's say we manage to travel to another planet where their solar year is 400 days as opposed to 365. That's just for the sake of this argument, okay?
But okay, so
hold on.
right there is the problem.
Okay,
right there.
Just bear with me, okay?
Okay.
Our lifespan on this planet, regardless of whether it takes longer to rotate around that star than it is to our own, is still going to be the same. We're still going to live as long as we would.
No.
Yes, we would.
Yes,
we would.
Us.
Yes,
but
us.
You have to throw us out of the equation.
No. But this is what I'm trying to get at. See, this is why
I can I jump in here?
No, you can't.
Alex is right.
The point I'm trying to make is simple. Our interpretation of time is our own, and I get that.
Yeah.
I completely get that. And a year to us, which is 365 days to another planet, depending on how far they are from the star, is longer or shorter. But if we go there, we would still live the same amount, provided we don't have any illness, we don't have any whatever.
Alex, you're correct.
Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about, time. Time
is the problem about carbon-based fucking societies. I'm sorry. Life forms.
Fuck.
We have to throw out the way we understand time completely. We do not know, say, who they are, and their genetic makeup can be something that is entirely new to us. And, it does not fucking compute on all levels with us because we don't have that intellect. We don't have that knowledge, obviously.
Well, can I throw a little example? Because you bring up
because you're not drinking 805. Screw you.
I'm not. I know. What the fuck is up with that? I'm trying to wean myself off 805.
Okay.
Too much of a good thing, Steve. I will be back to 805.
Wait a sec. I see an 805 ghost in the background.
Yeah.
It's actually full of paperback books. It's not full of unfortunately. But there's an interesting analogy in regard, and this is it ties into UFOs and whether or not they come, whether they're extraterrestrial, whether they're from another dimension, or whether they're indigenous to Earth. Mm-hmm. Now this is a fascinating, and I want to throw this out there and see what you guys think about it. So you think of a dog, okay? I don't know if you guys have dogs, if you have pets, I don't know. But if you have a dog and you have a pet, your dog has no concept of your town, your city, your state, your country, your planet, your solar system, right? But he or she, this dog has no concept. But they cannot even comprehend the ideals.
That's what we think, though.
No, wait. Let me finish.
That's what we think. Seriously,
they can't even begin to comprehend the logistics of this larger sphere of reality.
But we think.
Wait, hold on. Pump the brakes, Steve. Listen, let me just finish. What if we're in the same position where we understand? We understand our town, our city, our state, our country, our planet, our solar system, and we understand certain aspects of the universe. But there's a much grander and larger vision that's available that we can't understand or even comprehend.
Well, I mean, that ties in also with the multiple dimensions, right? Or even like how we see only in three dimensions.
Can you comprehend a black hole?
No, wait. This is not other dimensions. This is just physical reality.
No, I know.
But because we might,
and that's
we
what
might,
we'll stick to here.
we might
Physical
perceive
reality.
we might perceive this much of physical reality. Right?
Yeah.
That might be all we perceive in all our scientific inquiry of the last 1,000 years of scientific inquiry in regard to physical reality. This is what we perceive, but in reality, physical reality might be this.
Hey, I thought there was no masks anymore.
There's no mask. What do you mean?
Because it looked like you were wearing a mask there for a second.
No, but even this, Gareth. What about this, Gareth? I mean, I know what you're saying, and it makes sense because we're basically assuming as a species that we know everything that there is to know, when in reality we don't.
Exactly.
But I'm also going one step further with that and saying we perceive things in 3 dimensions, right? Right. What about if there's a 4th or 5th that we cannot perceive because it's beyond our scope?
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Okay, so then you get into the metaphysical. If you want to get into that realm, we'll go into that realm. But this is what I'm saying. No. When you're saying that a dog doesn't know its position in comparison to us knowing it, is we don't know that. We are automatically assuming. We assume that they don't understand, when maybe they really do understand a lot more than what we think they do.
Well, they have been known to spot ghosts.
No, seriously. Their senses are a lot more keen than ours are. Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, they can smell stuff. Calm down.
No.
They can smell if you fart.
I think Alex is finally coming back.
Hang on.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just using the dog as an analogy to make a point.
Like dogs have no time sense whatsoever, really?
Well, dogs. I mean, as far as we know, dogs don't know that they're going to die, right?
We don't know that.
Animals. Well, as far we don't. We can't say 100%.
What about ants? Can we say that about ants?
Yeah, we can.
We don't know though.
No, but bear with me. As far as we know, human beings are the only species that are aware of their own mortality.
Who says that?
Well, it's makes perfect sense. I said, as far
you might
as
well tell me you got proof of a fucking ghost, okay? No,
I have evidence. I don't have proof.
You have it.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, as listen to my words very carefully. As far as we know, human beings are the only species that's aware of its own mortality.
And we're so fallible, it's not funny.
Right?
And we're so fallible, it's not funny.
Only we know that one day we will die.
And you don't think they know that?
Well, we don't know.
Exactly.
But like I said 10 minutes ago, if you were fucking listening,
as
far as we know, we are the only species that are aware of our own mortality.
You know what's funny? There's an intelligent civilization out there laughing at us right now, going on about this shit.
Sure they are.
No, seriously. Because we have no concept beyond this planet, really. Honestly, do we really? Except for a few minor things, we have no concept of the universe.
That's not completely true.
No. Outside a few things, realistically, our knowledge of the universe is probably what? Not even 20%.
Oh, less than that, probably.
Exactly.
Way less than that.
So to think of the possibilities that belong out there and their knowledge of this universe, there's probably a civilization out there where their knowledge is probably triple, if not double, if not triple what we understand.
Well, once again, we're playing the speculation game. That very much it might be completely true.
It's
or not.
I'm doing it to really throw Alex off.
We can only base this on our own experience, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So we base a lot of these thoughts and theories on how humanity has progressed. There's a great line in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Never watched it.
Right, even though
Alex is like, what the fuck is that now?
No, I know of it. I just never watched it.
Oh no.
Oh, God, dude, did you just land on Earth yesterday? Are you kidding me?
I did.
But there's a great line. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a comedy sci-fi series. Okay,
you gotta see it.
But even though it's a comedy sci-fi series, there's a lot of truth and wisdom kind of immersed in the comedy. And there's a great line where they talk about this other civilization who are where'd Steve go?
I don't know what the fuck just happened here.
What happened? Where'd he go?
Did he actually drop off the call?
He's gone. What happened?
I'm right here.
Where?
The video feed's gone.
I'm right here.
He's gone.
There we go.
He's back.
Where are you guys?
He's back. He's back. There we go. I see his eyeball on the stream right now. There we go.
Oh wait, I gotta pull. Hold on, I gotta pull a Gareth here. I gotta go to the washroom.
Yeah, I gotta empty my bladder. Where'd he go? Is he back?
He probably went to the washroom.
He went to relieve his bladder. But let me just finish my point. In the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, they talk about a species that was unique in civilizations to invent the aerosol can before the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's humorous. They said it as a joke. But it also makes sense. There might be civilizations that invent and comprehend things in different stages that we do. Like to invent an aerosol spray before the wheel doesn't make a lot of sense to us. But it doesn't mean that another civilization might have done that. Did you see the point I'm making?
I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah.
I do get what you're saying, and and at the end of the day, like we briefly touched upon this, it's basically speculation because we don't have all the facts. We don't know.
It's all speculation.
Yeah, it's all speculation. Exactly.
All of it.
And some of it may make sense to some people because they think along the same lines, and then some of it doesn't to others. Yeah. It's just the way it is.
It's 100%. Everything we've talked about is speculation. But it's definitely food for thought. And I love thinking this way and exploring these kinds of ideas, you know, like going down these pathways and thinking of things in alternative views.
That's right.
You know,
I mean, that's the only way you're gonna.
If the mainstream says this is the way it goes, I love talking about like this and this and this and this and this and so on and so on, because there's lots of other possibilities.
Yeah, and I'm like that to some extent as well. There's only certain topics that I don't like discussing outside of the sort of established norm for a reason, right? But that's just me. But I'm pretty much like you.
Could you name one of those topics?
No, basically conspiracy theories. And part of the reason why I say that is because although historically speaking, there have been a couple or a few that have come to fruition.
Well, not a couple, not a few, many.
Well, no. Yes. But anyway, that's regardless. There may have been many in your eyes, but there have been many more who haven't, is the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
And the reason why I shy away from this...
That's a fair point.
What's that?
Viewership just dropped about 50%.
No, they didn't.
I know.
Steve's the eternal ball buster. By the way,
see, I leave it. Look, if viewership drops 50%, come on.
He's back though, so let's climb those viewers up. Let's go. Okay, Steve, you're about to shit on conspiracy theorists. Go ahead,
Steve or me?
Me.
Alex. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. Basically, the reason being is because a lot of it has been not right. So I stay away from it because unless, and here's the problem with conspiracy theorists. Conspiracy theories really, for the most part, do not have solid evidence. It's more hearsay. It's more hearsay than not.
Mm-hmm.
It's he said, she said, this said. And even though, like I said, some of it may have come true, that's fine. I'm not completely disputing the fact that some have come true.
Right.
But the reason why I don't like talking about it is because there have been way too many people in the conspiracy field who have gone so far off the beaten track that it boggles the mind how they think.
So who defines what the beaten track is?
Me.
Who defines conspiracy theory?
Me.
Well, conspiracy theory was defined in 1965 by the CIA.
I know, but who defines what's the boundaries here now? Like what's considered a conspiracy?
Well, the term conspiracy theorist is a derogatory.
No, theorist,
theory, whatever. It's a derogatory term, and it was coined by the CIA in 1965 to stop people investigating the murder of John Kennedy, JFK.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is not me rambling nonsense. This is 100% fact. The term conspiracy theorist and conspiracy theory was developed by the CIA as a way to discredit and denigrate people who question the official narrative of the story. And this has grown over the past 40 to 50 years. And we're now at the point where that's just conspiracy theory. And immediately the vast majority of people hearing that will instantly think the person saying these theories is a mental case.
Okay, question. How the fuck did we get from thousands of millions of miles out in the universe to fucking conspiracy?
See what happens when you go to the washroom, Steve?
That's right. Yeah, don't take the leak anymore. Stay here.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, I would agree with Alex that most conspiracy theories are nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. I would agree with that.
And this is why I stay away from it.
But like I said earlier, there's a danger of throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Right.
He loves that phrase,
but it's true. It's fucking true.
Listen, every
there's a lot of intriguing information that gets caught up and totally tossed out the window that really is legit.
Yeah.
So here's the problem, and it's exactly the same problem that we experience in ufology and the paranormal. You have the people who have, let's say, for lack of a better term, good information about something that I guess would be labeled as conspiracy theory, okay, who get muddled because of all the other idiots.
Sure.
Okay.
Can you say that again? I like that. I like the way you said it. Say
I can't. I can't repeat it.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't. I've had too much to drink. Muddled
away.
So anyway, but it's the same thing, and the reason why I and even with the paranormal, I get so despotent about it because I hear all this bullshit that goes on.
He's really throwing those words out.
I say, old boy, are you English?
Yeah, I am.
No, but I mean, conspiracy theory is real. Conspiracies do exist. They are not all fabricated. They're not all nonsense. Conspiracies are real. Okay? But not all conspiracies are real. I mean, that does sound like a contradiction in terms, but it's true.
No, but
conspiracies really, really do happen. They really. I mean, how many of you have had heard of a surprise birthday party?
No, but
guess what? A surprise birthday party is a fucking conspiracy.
Gareth, here's the problem personally I have with conspiracy theories and theorists in general, is that everything is a conspiracy. This is the problem I have.
Yeah, no, see, I hear what you're saying, Alex.
I do agree with that.
And there are people like that where everything is a conspiracy, right? Everything is a conspiracy, which is completely factual because everything is a conspiracy. No, but but obviously not everything is a conspiracy, but huge chunks of things can be, but not everything. But see, you're like throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Right, but the reason
you're like,
I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater in the sense, in the literal sense.
Crazy, blah blah blah. But it's not.
No. What I'm saying is, I don't get involved in conspiracy theories. I don't get involved in that genre or realm, for that matter, because it's not something that I care about.
Guys, look what's being said in the chat, and you know what? I really enjoy what Sunshine Dragon is saying there.
What Sunshine? What are you talking about, Sunshine? Come on.
The last quote, please.
What does it say?
Read what the last quote there.
Okay, if you want to build up your mind.
No. One person at a time here.
Okay, go ahead, Gareth. You do it.
Go ahead.
I'll do it in a British accent.
There you go.
If you want to build up your mind, you've always to keep your eyes on everything and build up your own mind.
That's very British.
I don't know. Sounded pretty gay to me.
You know, and this alludes to humans and, you know, the inception of, you know, from birth, that we are filtered into believing what we see, what's tangible, right? If it's not tangible, people don't believe a lot of shit. We have to touch, feel, see what. No. And they don't believe that there's a realm outside that it's non-existent, which is not the truth.
It's a sad fact, and I hate to say this, but it's probably true. Most people are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And this is part of the problem.
This is part of the problem, right? Yeah. Now, I've said this many times, like, in my life journey interacting with other humans, I've discovered that most people are good, okay? Mm-hmm. Most people are good, honest, decent people. The vast majority of humans on Earth are good and decent. But by the same token, the vast majority of humans on Earth are fucking retards.
Oh, yeah.
They're imbeciles.
Yep.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So that plays into it also. While they're good, decent, and honest people, they're also not the brightest fucking spark that exists. They're
gullible.
Idiots.
And they're gullible.
There's another, quote out, you got to look at the evidence. Again, I have a hard time with, interpreting what evidence is.
It's still but like we talked about a minute. It's still.
No, I know we talked about it, but
it's honestly, evidence. But evidence of what?
When you want to look at evidence that is theory based, because if it's theory based, it's not evidence.
Well,
it's theory.
Give me an example.
Sorry.
Give me an example.
Of a
theory.
That for instance, okay, if you want to look at voices are from the other side, from our
EVP,
dearly departed
EVP, right?
EVP, if you want to go back there.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, explain to me why that's not evidence.
No, is it evidence of the dearly departed?
Yeah, but that's what I've been saying. It is evidence.
It's
we just don't know evidence of what.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying here.
But it is evidence.
Is it?
Yeah. We just don't know or can't define evidence of what. But it's evidence of something very strange and unexplainable that's happening. We just don't know of what.
It's evident that you're trying to lead me down an area that I don't want to go down.
But you know what I'm saying? It is.
I get you.
But we don't know of what.
Yeah, I got you. But this is why I prefer to call it finding.
Okay.
Because if we don't know for sure, it's not 100%.
Right.
Then why call it evidence?
Because that's what it is.
We don't know 100. No, we don't know 100%.
But it's evidence of something. Something strange is going on. We just don't know what.
I think it's just semantics at this point, because at the end of the day, both
right.
Steve and you are right. It's just a question of how you want to word it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I would agree with that.
Fuck that! That looks like piss in your glass.
You know what? It does look like a bit like piss. It really does.
Why do they call it Blue Moon, man? It does not look like blue.
What's it called? Belgian
Moon here.
Belgian Moon. There you go.
Belgian Moon.
Yeah.
Shake that residue.
This is my last bottle, by the way. So I got to make this last.
Just make sure you use it. You filter it, because it might be some kidney stones at the bottom.
Oh, you got to bring that up, dude.
Why you gotta shit. Oh, here we go. Here's another conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Have you noticed, though, that the minute you bring up conspiracy theory, it instantly takes the wind out of the argument? That's intentional.
You're right. You're right. There are people that won't even entertain it. Oh,
I'm one of them.
No, Alex. No, you get into it a little bit.
No, I get into it if I get dragged into it.
You get very passionate when you need to.
If somebody comes up with an alternate view on anything, all you will need is somebody to come out and say, "Well, that's just a conspiracy theory."
Okay, what color is this?
That's blue.
Even if they're 100% correct.
Gareth, what's this color?
Was that orange? I don't know.
That's
Alex,
that's blue.
Blue. There you go.
Okay, so one says blue, one says
what color is it?
Orange. Guys in the chat, what color is this?
Yeah, come on, guys in the chat.
Guys in the chat, come on. What color is this? Come on. Because one says blue here and the other one says orange.
I say
orange.
I say yellow, actually.
Yellow. I ain't chicken.
More time. There you go. What color is that?
Yellow. Fix your cam.
What is it?
It's
the Droogs. It's the Droogs.
Yellow. What?
What are they saying?
It says
yellow. It says yellow. Fix your cam.
Oh, yeah.
Someone says, Crazy John says milky white.
There we go.
Ron says orange.
Orange. There you go. Rod is right.
Now, whose is darker, mine or Gareth's?
Gareth's.
And what color is that?
Yeah.
Piss color.
Whose would you rather drink?
That's piss color if you have an issue.
I know.
What color is that? What color? Tell me. What is the color I like? Very nice.
Lemon yellow. There you go. There, I like that. Lemon yellow.
Lemon yellow. That's a great term.
That's good. Yellow.
Yeah, lemon yellow. Hi, excuse me. Do you have this in lemon yellow? Yeah.
Would you? Lemon yellow. I love that.
Lemon yellow. Oh my God. Whatever. This is Gareth's is apple cider color.
Is it? I don't even know what apple cider looks like.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, do you
Chemtrails.
Here
let's not get into that.
Chemtrails.
No.
Can I take the lead here and ask you guys? And I want to immediately focus on Alex.
Oh,
because he is Mr. Anti-Conspiracy Theorist. I want to nail this down. Alex, what are your thoughts on chemtrails, if any?
They're bullshit.
Okay, very good. Steve?
I do believe that they are they're very highly associated with Morgellons.
Are you being serious or are you fucking
I'm
around?
very serious.
Okay, all right, okay. So let me
Does anybody know much about Morgellons?
I know a little bit. Let me shoot back to Alex. Alex, why did you think chemtrails are bullshit?
It's to him it's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. No, I just don't believe it.
But no, I understand that. I get it. I get the fact that you don't believe it. I totally understand that. Why?
Because there hasn't been any solid proof towards it.
What do you mean by solid proof?
There's no solid evidence.
There is proof.
No, there isn't.
Yeah,
Again, it's hearsay. It's not solid evidence.
It's not hearsay.
No, it's not.
So are you telling me that Jerry E. Smith was full of shit?
I'm saying that I don't believe it. I don't care if he believes it or not.
Why? Well, okay. He's dead now. So
well, no, it's not. It's one of those things. Just because he's been on our show doesn't mean I believe everything he says.
Come on, no. I'm on your show. You believe everything I'm saying.
Oh, far from.
So no, I wholeheartedly believe in chemtrails. I really do believe chemtrails are a thing.
Okay, that's fine.
How can they not? How can they not be?
How can they be?
Well, you're telling me that these planes up there are not. So
okay, let me ask you this.
Listen.
No. Listen. You've cut me off before. I'm going to cut you off now. No. I'm going to cut you off now because you cut me off before.
Never spewed out beryllium.
You want to take this into consideration.
It's like
every airliner accounts for every ounce of weight because it needs to.
Regular airliner.
Then okay, so
we're talking about stratosphere planes. We're talking about.
Okay. Then prove it. Show me proof. Show me evidence.
The proof is already out there.
No, it's not.
I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you right now in 3 seconds.
Yep. Go for it.
Go ahead. 3 seconds. I'm counting.
So
1.
Hey, calm down.
2.
So no,
3.
It might not be 3. It might not be 3 seconds. It might be a little longer. But I can basically.
If you were drinking the 805, it would have been done already.
Spock. No. So this is a contrail and a chemtrail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Contrail is a condensation trail. The jet plane is flying. The engines are super hot. The atmosphere is super cold. Therefore, it produces a condensation trail. Are we all cool with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense, right? Yep. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
So you got a plane flying super high in the sky. The engines are crazy hot. Yep. The atmosphere outside the engines are super cold. Therefore, there's a condensation trail.
Right.
Cool?
Yep.
We good? We're all on the same page?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Condensation dissipates.
So
exactly. Not always.
So
not always. Not always.
Hit the brakes, guys. Hold on. So here's the thing. So a condensation trail, when the plane is flying and super hot engines, cold atmosphere, condensation, it leaves a trail.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, within about 2 minutes or so, the condensation will dissipate.
Okay. I got something to rebut that.
Give or take.
No. Let Alex chime in. Go ahead.
Clouds.
Let me finish my thought, and then Alex can jump in. So give or take 2 minutes or so. The plane is flying, spewing out all this condensation, and you can see the trail, and you can see way back there it's starting to dissipate. Yep. Right.
That's longer than 3 seconds, by the way.
Okay, go. Alex, go.
That's a contrail. Now,
go.
A chemtrail does the same thing, but
it expands.
The spray
expands.
Lasts hours and hours and hours and hours.
Can I interject?
And spreads itself out.
It's called a chemical called beryllium.
It's called clouds.
No,
it's not called clouds.
Clouds could be up there for hours and hours and hours.
That's not clouds.
Okay, like I said, prove it to me. Show me scientific evidence. No, you did not. That's hearsay. I'm sorry. That's hearsay. No, it's not. It's hearsay. I'm sorry to say it. You guys can say whatever the fuck you want. It's hearsay. Until you can prove to me what you're saying is true, because condensation does not always dissipate.
Talk to the hand.
Condensation does not always dissipate. Clouds are proof of that. Clouds are proof of that.
Oh my God.
Okay? Until you can prove otherwise.
Are you kidding me? I just proved it.
No, you did not. It's hearsay. That's not solid evidence.
It's not a hearsay.
Okay.
It's a fact.
Whatever.
Chat room.
It's a fact to you.
Did I just prove
It's
it?
not.
Yes or no? Tell me in the chat room. Did I prove it? Yes or no? If everyone says
then
no,
prove that. Okay, then prove to me. Then prove to me why clouds don't disappear within seconds of forming.
We're not talking about.
That's condensation. That is fucking condensation.
Yeah, it's condensation, not from a plane, though.
It doesn't fucking matter. It's condensation.
It does matter.
Yes, it does. Holy fuck. Listen, this is why I don't want to talk about conspiracy theories.
It matters if it's natural or engineered.
Oh, bullshit. Okay? Condensation is condensation. You guys can say what the fuck you want. Okay?
Okay, come on, chat
Prove
room.
to me otherwise. Prove to me definitively. Not because some guy 10 years ago said, oh, this is got geoengineering. Oh, this is fucking chemtrail.
So the Russians,
prove to me. Prove to me, and then I'll believe you.
The Russians. Okay, here we go. The Russians in the 50s were working on cloud seeding.
Okay, so what?
That still goes on.
No. Don't say what.
I said, so what?
Yeah.
They're working on it. So what?
No, they were working on cloud seeding and perfected it.
Good for them.
It's been going on since the 1930s.
Good for them.
Well, the 50s, the Russians were really, full force with it. And, of course, in the U.S., they started doing it, cloud seeding. So cloud seeding is a major aspect of chemtrail, contrails, whatever you want to go on about, but it's been out there for a long time that this is a fact.
Fine,
it is. Beryllium is one of the major polluters in the sky and has been for years.
So do you know what goes into cloud seeding? You know what the chemical compounds are. And don't you need clouds in order to seed the clouds, first of all? So that means that you would not see the chemtrails or contrails?
Beryllium.
Okay.
Beryllium. Look at the chemical compound in beryllium. Look at it.
First of all, prove to me that that's what's actually in the cloud seeding.
Let me ask Alex a question, okay?
Okay.
Let me ask Alex. It's a question to you. How does it feel to be wrong?
How does it feel to be wrong to you? You still haven't proved it. And if you can prove it to me definitively, and not by the explanation you gave me, because that's not proof.
Perfect explanation.
No, it's not.
Perfect.
It's not.
But you wouldn't even believe if somebody proved it to you, Alex. You've got a mindset. Oh, pardon me, mindset.
Hey,
you have a mindset that believes that it's a conspiracy theory.
I have a mindset that needs to be able to be proven definitively in order for me to believe something like this.
Somebody definitively.
What you guys are talking about is not definitive. It's speculation at best.
It's not.
It's hearsay. Yes, it is.
Well, no.
Yes, it is.
The fact that the Russians were seeding clouds.
Alex is right to a certain extent. It's not proof.
It's not scientifically proven.
But
you're telling me that the Russians weren't seeding clouds?
No, I'm talking about the chemtrails. You're talking about.
What do you think I'm leading?
Oh, fuck's sakes! Cloud seeding is different than what most people are talking about. Chemtrails. They're talking about poisoning the people. This is cloud seeding. No. Let me fucking finish now before I fucking get interrupted again. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. You're talking about cloud seeding, which means that they're going to try to induce rain, because that's basically what cloud seeding is about. Okay? You're talking about most people who believe in chemtrails are talking about poisoning people. Those are two completely fucking different things.
No.
Okay?
No. You're kind of. I agree with you to a certain point, Alex. Chemtrails are real, but. We know that they're spraying something into the atmosphere, but we don't know what it is, and we don't know why they're doing it.
And why not?
Well, we don't know.
So then how do you know they're doing it?
All the information.
And how do you know they're doing it?
We do not know what they're spraying and why they're spraying it. Now we can speculate. We can speculate on what might be going on,
which is
but we
fine.
do not know. We do not know what they're spraying and why they're spraying it. We do not know.
If you want to speculate on your part, that's fine. But for me, in order for me to believe something, it's got to be more than speculation.
Okay, so let me put out there. Okay, something that was posted in the chat that is not speculation; it's actual information, and you can go to the U.S. government website about it, and this is called geoengineering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a true thing. It's a fact that they are doing this.
Steve,
Alex.
I said to you, cloud seeding and what most people believe as chemtrails are two different things.
They're not.
Yeah, no,
they're not.
I'm talking about people's perception, Steve.
Science behind it.
Steve, I'm talking about what people perceive.
I agree with Alex on this one, Steve. He's
okay.
Right.
Cloud seeding, and I know Steve's doing this on purpose, and it's fucking irritating right now. Okay. No, I'm being serious. I'm fucking irritated beyond belief right now, and I'm gonna be fucking hanging up soon.
No,
okay?
Don't be irritated.
No, because no. I've had enough of this fucking shit.
No.
Okay, it's one thing to have a discussion. It's another to fucking keep going. Hey, fuck you. Hey, fuck you.
No.
Okay?
Come on, dude. Calm
No.
down.
No.
No, that's not the way it is. We're not having a go at you.
No, Steve is.
No.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
No.
Listen, cloud seeding, whatever it is, I don't dispute cloud seeding. I've never said I disputed cloud seeding. But when you say the word chemtrails, and the majority of the people that you discuss chemtrails with have a completely different meaning of what chemtrail is. They're not talking about cloud seeding.
No, I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
So when I'm talking chemtrails, I'm talking about what the majority of the people out there believe is chemtrails. Prove to me that is what's happening, and then maybe I'll fucking believe you.
Okay.
Otherwise,
so tell me.
Done.
Tell me your interpretation of chemtrails.
My interpretation of chemtrails is what the majority of the people believe to be chemtrails, is saying that we're getting poisoned by the governments because we're some kind of weird ass conspiracy going on here that the government wants to control us. Right. That's what I'm talking about. Cloud seeding is completely different.
I don't necessarily believe that the government's trying to control us. But what I do believe is chemtrails are a reality.
Right.
And the chemtrails may not have anything to do with controlling, but it's called a pollution, if anything. That I think that is a reality. That's a reality, and it has been for years.
Can I jump in? So from what Alex and Steve just said, I agree with both of you. While I think that chemtrails are real and that we are being sprayed with something, I do not know what is being sprayed or why it's being sprayed. Now, I understand Alex's point of view where the government's controlling us and spray. I get it. But I don't know whether that's true or not. I have no idea. Although I strongly lean towards the view that we are being sprayed with something. I just don't know what or why.
It wouldn't be the first time the government has done some sort of social experiment. It's not the first time.
Absolutely.
It's not.
That's very true. Yeah.
I mean, look at the black population in New York City.
Sure.
You know, with the sewer, and you know, I forget what the name of that project was. It's a proven fact.
They've done many things, dude. They fed plutonium to mentally retarded children. They injected syphilis onto black men.
That's the one I'm talking about.
They've done many things to many different kinds of people.
I mean, to think that governments are not.
When you think about those things, and you would just say, "Oh yeah, they for all the retards in this fucking this psychiatric home, they fed them plutonium for 5 years." Most people are going to think, "Oh, you're out. There's no way the government would do that. You're out of your mind." But when you dig into it, you find out that it's 100% factual.
talking to Stan Scamille of Morgellons Association out in Vancouver, BC, and he would note that a lot of the research that they had done causing Morgellons is actually something that's being introduced into the atmosphere, if not GMO. Right? Most GMO is harmless, completely harmless. But for this guy and his research to say that, look at Morgellons is a whole different fucking monster.
Well, there's a much bigger picture. Earlier on we were talking about like if we don't have all the information, we can't really give valid answers or speculation on what's really going on because we don't have all the information. And as far as chemtrails and things like that, I would strongly recommend the viewers to check out Elena Freeman. I just posted her name in chat. Go ahead and pull up her name in Google, do a couple of researches, check her out on YouTube, maybe buy a book or two, and it might redefine your worldview if you are willing and or able to go down this path. The amount of money I get from posting her name there is a vast sum. Actually, it's actually zero. Because I'm more aligned with questioning reality and thinking rather than financial gain. I thank you.
So, the thought that
but it's safer, nicer, and easier and far more comfortable to dismiss all this stuff. Let's be honest.
Well, obviously.
It's real nice to say this is all nonsense. Because if it's true, there's some real fucking shady bullshit going on. If it's nonsense, well, then you can go to bed tonight and everything's fine.
Yeah. And I say a lot about that when it comes to the paranormal too, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff that people have put out there and said, look at, oh, come on. Yeah. This is paranormal.
It's nonsense. You're out of your mind. You're a mental case. Ghosts. What are you, fucking retard? Ghosts? Get out of here.
I mean, Alex, for the most part, when it comes to the paranormal, how much of it do you actually believe?
Do I believe? I believe that there's things that we can't explain, but I don't believe it's necessarily a ghost.
On a personal level, with you personally, what you've experienced, put that equation in there and say, look at
5 to 10%, maybe.
Five. See, and that's actually a very generous percent. 5 to 10% is actually really generous in terms of something that might be actually paranormal.
But you know what, though, in considering this show and the topics that are discussed on this show, I personally believe that someone like Alex is a valuable asset.
Well,
because
Alex
it keeps it legit because
he's a ghost deterrent.
No, it's great. It's detergent. It's valuable. It's valuable. Like if we had someone on here who was all like, "Oh yeah, it's the spirits and it's the,"
when Alex experiences something, okay, look at
something's
not necessarily legit, but at least
something is going on.
Think and say, look at, because Alex is going to think about this.
Right. No, I agree.
And this is why I keep harking on about Alex. When at this Spruce Lane farmhouse. When you had your experience there, Alex, I mean, would you say that's legit?
It's well, what happened to me was definitely legit. Yes. I don't know if you know, I'm pretty sure I've said it before, Gareth, but I'll say it quickly again.
Mm-hmm.
So this farmhouse that we went to, I was feeling sick already to begin with. I had a cold, but it wasn't that bad. When we went inside the house and we started to do the investigation, it started getting worse. Like I started feeling drained and completely out of it. Now, at first, I attributed it to me just being ill and getting worse. Right. So I sat down on the stairs, the main stairs that go up to the second floor, and for the most part, I stayed out of the investigation because I wasn't feeling too well. But the weird thing was that when we stepped outside after we were done the investigation, I started feeling better. But not 100% better, but better to the point of it's where I was before we started the investigation. So I was sick. We went in. I got even sicker. We came back out, and I got better to the point where I was before. And that's what I find.
You felt that being on the premises
made it worse.
Made
in that
it worse.
particular area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, Gareth, that on another another date that we were in there, somebody else started feeling similar in that same area.
The same spot.
Without even knowing anything about Alex's previous experience there.
Uh-huh.
And then on another date, we had somebody come in with a tri-field meter picking up some really weird shit in that particular area.
Yeah.
Without having any prior note.
This was the same location where you picked up some of those EVPs, right?
Oh yeah, I picked up all sorts of shit.
You got some. I mean, I know we did a show a number of months ago where we played some of those EVPs you recorded, and they were phenomenal. Amazing. You picked up some incredible evidence.
In quotations. Screwed up shit, man. But it's weird that and then when Alex, you remember when I said, look okay guys, compare your notes here. You and Gord had felt that similar.
Gord was with you?
Yeah, no, this was on another visitation. Gord was feeling the same way in that same area that Alex was feeling pretty sick.
Right.
So there's definitely something, obviously, that ties the two incidents together. Now, what that something is what needs to be determined.
And it was something that was like a non-issue before Alex's thing. I mean that was it was non-existent until Alex had his experience, and then obviously Gord on his visitation, and then when Richard came in the following time with the tri-field and picking up
so in other words, I stirred it up.
Yeah, it really, look at something's going on here.
Yeah.
No, I think that that someone like Alex serves a valid purpose in regard to these kinds of investigations and or questions. To have a kind of really solid skeptical view of this stuff, I think is very healthy.
He scares ghosts away.
That too.
I think it's a valid component. I think it's very, very healthy and very good to have somebody like Alex to question this stuff, for sure. No question. Absolutely. Because there's nothing worse than having people who are all like, yeah, it's the spirits, the ghosts, they're talking to, you know what I mean? It's like, even if they're legit, they sound mental. You know what I mean?
What's legit though when it comes to this shit? Honestly.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
What do you think?
I mean, myself, like you guys. I mean, I've been fascinated by this stuff my entire life. In many ways, and I've thought about this a lot. In many ways, I wish that I was not, because my life would be significantly easier if I wasn't so immersed in these kinds of topics and these kind of conspiracy theory kind of you know what I mean? It would be so much easier just to go with the flow and believe the media and just be like everyone else. It would be so much fucking easier just to go with it. Like, hey, get your COVID shot. Okay. It's so easy to do that.
But Gareth, you do realize that that's a choice, right?
What? What do you mean?
Whether you delve into it or not.
Of course it's a choice, which is why I've chosen not to get the shot. But there's a cultural impetus to get the shot, right? Everyone, oh yeah, well, you didn't get the why not? What's wrong with you? Right? It's that kind of vibe. It's very kind of cultural, and I understand. Yeah, it is. It's purely optional, which is why I've chosen not to get it. But it's life in general. If you go with the flow and you go with the normality of life, things are easier.
All right. On that note, I think we're gonna end it, buddies.
All right. Okay, guys. Can I just say it's been an absolute pleasure. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you guys. It's always great, and
Gareth, get everything out there for the listeners and everybody who may not know where Mindset Podcast is.
If you want to find me, you can find me at mindsetcentral.com or youtube.com/mindsetcentral. Come on over. Every Friday we ever get together. It's very loose. It's very easy. We have a little drink. Come on over. Alex and Steve, open door policy, always welcome. Come on over. We'd love to talk to you. I'll see you guys next Friday.
All right, Gareth. Thanks for joining us tonight, man.
Pleasure.
It's been a blast, guys. Thank you, everybody in chat. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and hope to
subscribe.
See you. Subscribe. All right.
Are we calling it?
We're calling it.
We're calling it. All right, guys. I hope to talk to you very